morning, welcome to the Sewing Quarter with me, Vicky Gordon. I hope you've woken up to a lovely day and it's not too snowy outside. It just started to snow as I was leaving this morning. I was thinking, oh no, we're going to get snowed in a weekend again. Although I was away last time, so I would like to see another little bit of snow before the spring comes. But actually, we are looking forward to the spring because this first hour, we are going to focus on Easter. We've got so many Easter makes. So, shall we see how your Saturday morning is shaping up? We've got 8 AM Easter Parade. 9 AM Victoria Peat is here, one of the faces of the family, Victoria Farmhouse Quilt. That's Lynne Goldsworthy's famous quilt. We did see it about a month or so ago and it was so popular, so we're bringing it back. At 10 AM, everything English paper piecing and actually handcrafts as well. We've got some embroidery in there. 11 AM, you've got the Cathedral window cushion. So it's a busy show. We want to hear from you. We've got Tula paper piecing back. In fact, we can show you these because they are back in stock. They were seen very briefly on the birthday, very briefly, and they sold out without us even really showing you them. So they are back. We will be airing these in the 10 o'clock show, but I have a feeling they could sell out before, so I'm just warning you that they are back in stock. There's also brand new Tula Pink products, including a gorgeous embroidery book. We have a lot of the Tula Pink range later on in that English paper piecing show. So we want to hear from you. As I say, Victoria Peat is going to be joining me in about an hour or so. So send in your photographs. I know that Hannah was saying to me earlier on, everybody has amazing cathedral window projects. Everyone has amazing farmhouse quilts as well. If you've been working on yours, please send in your photographs. We want to hear from you. We want to see your makes at studio@sewingquarter.com. Or, of course, alternatively, if you go onto the website, www.sewingquarter.com, if you click watch at the top of the screen there, scroll the way down, there it goes, and then you'll see the little section on the right-hand side saying message the studio. If you do a nice short and sweet message, then that can send it straight through to Hannah upstairs in the gallery, my producer today, and she will be able to send it straight down to me on the iPad in here. So yes, it'd be lovely to hear from you today. All of your pictures, all of your messages. As I say, Victoria Peat is here, and we are focusing on everything Easter. So I'm hoping that we get some nice spring weather so these daffodils all bloom. Of course, we have to bring Jo Carter. Jo Carter's chicks have been so popular. I've been here with the bunnies as well with Jo last time, and once again, they absolutely flew out. And this is the last chance to get them before Easter. If you want to see them on air, this is the last chance to secure them before Easter. So if you want to get them in time to make them, we're saying, of course, it's only a couple of weeks away now, isn't it? Easter, the last weekend of March. So if you want to have time to get it home and make them in time for Easter, then this is perfect opportunity. So have a look at the chick bundle, because this is just so cute, isn't he? He's just gorgeous. We love it. So there's two different bundles. We've got the gingham and we've got the spray time as well. So we're going to start with the gingham because look at him. He's so beautiful. So the bundles, obviously it changes what beak and what feet you have, but we love this. The bundle comes with 1/2 metre of your gingham, 1/2 metre of your lovely soft, and I mean it's super soft fleece. It is so lovely, super soft fleece. You also get your thread, you get your toy eyes, and you get your embroidery skein. Skein. I just cover all bases, whatever you say, skein. And of course you also get the instructions, which if you've made Jo Carter toys before, then you will have seen how incredible her instructions are. The pictures, I love the pictures, the step-by-step instructions, and all of your templates. Now, this was actually demoed with Jo on the 28th of February. So if you go onto YouTube, if you go onto our YouTube channel, and search for that date, you'll be able to see Jo Carter actually making this, and you can watch it step by step. But you get all of those instructions included in the bundle at $19.99. It was really, really popular then, and obviously now we are approaching Easter. I think it's going to be even more popular. So we've got the chick. The other alternative is the spray time. So again, you've got a lot of fabric. There's only, if you think there's half a metre of spray time fabric, and you're going to have a lot left over. This is for the beak and for the feet. Also, half a metre of the super soft. If you are careful and you cut carefully, then you'll be able to make two chicks. There's a lot of fabric. Also, once again, you get the eyes, your toy eyes, you get your thread and your skein. So all of that with your instructions. And it's Jo Carter's chick, and I must warn you, it is the last chance to see this on air before Easter. This is the last chance to get hold of it. $19.99. Just look at how gorgeous the detail. What I love about it is you can see a similar sort of look with the beautiful legs hanging down if you have him on the shelf. And look his little bottom. He's just so cute, isn't he? Every little detail, he's gorgeous. So make the most of Jo Carter's chick. Both of these today, just $19.99. The bunny's gorgeous as well. We just wanted to show you these first because I think they are going to be extremely popular for Easter. Same applies. You get the fabric, you get the instructions to make these beautiful bunnies. How lovely are they? And also you do get the wadding. You get wadding and toy stuffing with the bunnies. So let's start with the yellow one. It's the wrong way around. There we are. So this one actually is the most limited. We're going to show you still at both of them, but the yellow is the most limited. It's so beautiful, isn't it? That lovely ditzy floral pattern. Oh, look at them hugging. How cute is that picture? Oh, you've got to definitely make the pair. Once again, you've got enough fabric here to make more than one bunny. Obviously, there you go. You have the one colourway. You've got the yellow, half a metre of the ditzy floral pattern. Very Liberty-esque, actually, isn't it? Very Liberty-esque. Half a metre of your Macawa biscuit. You get your thread, and once again, you get the skein for your eyes and lovely nose and mouth and whiskers. You also get the toy filling, and you get wadding as well. So you get that all included. His little ears are wadded, and you put the stuffing into his body. But I mean, you're going to have so much left over, so much left over. So be aware. Half of the stock has already gone in baskets. If you do want the yellow, half of the stock has already gone in baskets. So congratulations. We want to see your pictures. Did you make this last time it was on air with Jo? Send in your pictures of your gorgeous bunnies. And look at their tails. The detail, as I say, in Jo Carter's toys are just so cute. Just $19.99. So the blue one. So this is now the graphics coming in for the blue bunny. You also have enough fabric to make more than one bunny. So as I say, you put the wadding in the ears, and that just means that they stick upright. I know if I were to have a go at this, then mine will be like, ooh, there's always that one floppy ear. But you can build little characters. I quite like the idea of just having one that's a little floppy ear. So this was actually demoed with Jo Carter again on the 1st of February. The 1st of February, these came back in. So if you do want to watch the demo back on YouTube, then you can watch it step by step with Jo Carter, and that's just $19.99. So again, this beautiful, very, very Liberty-esque, isn't it? Look at that lovely pattern. So the blues and the lilacs, again, very, very Eastery, isn't it? Perfect for Easter. It's just so cute, and you're going to use this fabric for a lot of different projects as well, aren't you? I just have him out all year round in my house. So cute, isn't he? So you have the more blue and lilac pattern, half a metre. Half a metre of biscuit. You get your thread. You get your skein, and should we have a look at the instructions again? So I love the glossy instructions as well. They're lovely, aren't they, that Jo Carter's put together for us. They're so, so clear. There she is. Jo Carter, you might have seen actually in our sister magazines. Featured a lot with Simply Sewing. So there you are, you have step-by-step instructions. You have a lot of pictures, you've got your templates. But the great thing as well is you can actually watch the step-by-step Jo making this on air the 1st of February. You can watch back on the YouTube channel. Just $19.99, perfect for Easter. Feels strange, doesn't it, talking about spring and Easter when we're still sitting in the snow. So cold, but yesterday was beautiful. When we came out yesterday afternoon, the sky was blue and the sun was out. It was cold, but in fact, it wasn't that cold, was it? It was about 11 degrees. It was lovely. Then all of a sudden, it's just gone freezing. Make the most of the blue as well. That's, again, very, very popular. A lot in your baskets, just $19.99. So we'll come back to Jo Carter and I'll keep you updated on the availability because it is going to be popular. But Easter is here. Easter galore. Right, where on earth do we start? We will start with the spot bundle fabric. These are great for your stash anyway. You're going to use this baby, I'm thinking like baby quilts or pillows or even just pretty, you know, very, very girly sort of pastel tones. So you're getting the pink spot on, 1/2 meter, the yellow, 1/2 meter, the green, 1/2 meter, you're getting the blue spot on, and the purple. And they are all 100% cotton, machine washable, 2.5 meters, so 1/2 meter of each. And again, these are fabrics that are going to come into play in so many of your projects, not just for Easter. Maybe you've got a baby quilt to make or, you know, children's clothes. They're lovely. Now, I've got a message come in. Okay, good morning, Kieran. Hello, good morning. I never watched this show, but my girlfriend has recently become so what of an. This is my partner that's watching. Good morning, Kieran. You need to go to work. But he's saying, good morning, Vicky. I'm a new watcher of the show, but my girlfriend has recently become an addict. I tend to be roped into watching. I can't see the rest because I told you to only write a short message on the iPad, but I can't see the rest. We came home last night to find me embroidering. I was practicing my embroidery. I was sending lots of pictures to Jess. I was thinking, what can I make? Looking around the house, thinking, what else can I embroider? Everything's going to have my name and my initials on before we get to Easter. But anyway, good morning, my love. Okay, so back to the bundle. This one available just $24.99. We are always very, very busy when it comes to any of our spot-on fabric, but when we've bundled them together with such pretty colours, it's going to be popular. So useful. Maybe you're not using them for anything in particular, just a nice stash builder. $24.49. See, this is going to make your designer fabrics go further. When you're looking at the solids or the spot-ons, these are fantastic just to make your designer fabrics go further. So look at all these colours all together. It's a lot as well. 1/2 meter, when you think about it, actually is a lot. I can show you just one. There you go. It's a lot, isn't it? It's equivalent to 2 fat quarters, so 1/2 meter is a lot of fabric, 100% cotton, machine washable, and once again is going to come into play with so many of your projects. So there we are. We have the yellow, blue, pink, green, and purple spot on. The purple will come back. Embroidery is my forte. We'll let Hayley fold this one. There we are. We've got Hayley on floor today, Hayley on crew. If you do multi-buy this bundle, it won't come joined up. They're all pre-cut. They're pre-cut into the 1/2 meters. If you did want more than one of the colours, then you can go onto the website. You can buy all of our macauas by the half meters. So it comes in half meter increments if you want. Half meter, it's 1 unit, 1 meter, 2 units, and so on and so forth. So they are £24.49. These are all your half meter, 2.5 meters in total, bundled together. Fabulous, spot on. Get all of your lovely Easter colours. Okay, let's go Rickrack. We can keep that out. It would be nice to mix and match, actually, with our Rickracks. That was me tidying. No, I thought I'll keep them out. I tidied and then I thought, no, actually, I want to use my Rickrack. I was thinking when I saw the price of this that you get just half a metre or something of it. No, you get 25 metres. 25 metres. Now, I think we've used some of this one, haven't we? So, purple. This is fab. Rickrack I love because you're going to be able to embellish all of your projects and just make them have that extra professional finish to them. My sewing bag has actually just got a lovely line of Rickrack and it looks beautiful. When I was on with Jennifer, actually, she lines a lot of her bags with this and it's so easy to attach. You can literally just do one straight running stitch or a zigzag stitch through and it would just add that detail and add that colour to it. So we have picked the most perfect colours for Easter, but once again, you're going to be able to use this with lots of your different projects. Let's go for the pink. And I must stress, 25 metres, 25 metres. You're going to be rickracking everything. If you're anything like me, you will be rickracking everything. We are most limited on this pink. I don't know how it's coming across on your television, but it is like a beautiful baby but bright pink. In fact, I'll show you with the bundle underneath. If you have got a new baby in the family, it's lovely to see what the Rickrack's going to look nice against the different spot-on fabrics. So there's the pink and there's the purple that we saw before. Just £12.99, 25 metres. Okay, the next one. Let's go for the bright yellow. This is fab, isn't it? So this is going to really, really make it stand out so much. It is like, you know, when you see Joe Carter's chick and it is just bright yellow. That is perfect. This is going to look great in the summer, though, isn't it, as well? You're going to be able to use this for so many of your summer projects. Some nice beach bags and summer quilts. $12.99 for 25. There he is, Joe Carter's chick. Ah, there it is, Joe Carter's chick. So gorgeous. Loads of you got Joe Carter's chick bundle in your basket. Okay, the blue. 25 metres. Oh, it's just so cute. Can you leave him there, please? $12.99 for 25 metres of the blue. This looks really nice, actually, with the pinks and the yellows, doesn't it? The Macau spot on is always popular. Just 25 metres, just $12.99. No matter how many times you check out that basket, you are only going to pay one postage and packaging all day long. So keep shopping. You can stock up for Easter. Honestly, today's show is jam-packed. Jam-packed. We've got lots of Tula coming up later. Victoria Peat's here. Okay. Let's go to this one. Oh no, the garlands. Now, we think that you could use this. We've bundled them together, so you are actually getting the pink, the yellow, and the blue all together. We've bundled these together. We think they'll be great decorations, even if you don't stitch them to anything. These should be over £8 for the three. We bundled them together and offered you an Easter discount saving as well, just $5.99 for the 3 packs. Let's open one. Oh, in fact, we've got a yellow open one coming. So they are basically a garland. You've got this big, long garland. Thank you very much. I can show you. So this would look nice just as decoration. I could just hang this around my fireplace or around your kitchen. That would look lovely. Or you can take each rabbit off. You can applique them onto something. or you could embroider around them, could you? You know, like yesterday Jess did on the bunting with the squirrel. That would look so cute. Or you can stitch them on a line onto bunting. Just $5.99, and as I say, normally over £8. We have bundled the 3 packs together for just $5.99. The yellow, the pink, and the blue. How long is this, Hannah? 2 meters. 2 meters. So you're actually getting 6 meters of little Easter bunnies. Now, we are very, very limited. It's something that we only really stock over Easter, and you are making that saving today, $5.99. So there's the 3 packs. It should be over £8. So for the 3, that's a great saving today. It's good if you do card making as well, actually, isn't it? If you're doing some cards, that would look really pretty. Or even with the grandkids, it's nice, you know, playing and putting them on. Felt's really easy to work with and to stick and stitch as well. It's creative. Next, we are going to do the ribbon bundle because these were new just before Mother's Day. These were new. Hannah even is, in fact, is saying that she's not seen these before. And what I think is absolutely great is that, yes, you have those Easter colours, you have those lovely pinks, but it's not very often that we have bundled them together. It's not very often that we see something for the boys. So that is the blues. You've literally got the blues. You've got something for all year round. You've got the rainbow colours. You've got these lovely heart detail as well for Valentine's or for some lovely wedding cards or gifts. You've got 48 metres of ribbon. 48 metres of top quality ribbon. And if you see through the centre of all of these packs, you can see exactly what that ribbon is like. So here through the centre, you've got the striped one. Look at those lovely boys. The blues. See, maybe if you're thinking, do you know what? I'm not going to use the pinks as much, or I'm not going to use one of these rainbows. I don't sew much in pink, so I'm going to give the pinks away as a gift. That's a lovely bundle that we've put together. You're getting 4 separate packets for just $25.49. I love this one. I do think that's so pretty with the spots, and you can see this heartworm running through exactly what it looks like. So there it is, $25.49. They're lovely for Easter, aren't they? Here's your sort of Easter brights and these ones. Just so you know, a lot of people have put those straight in the basket. If you all check out, there'll be less than 10 left. So immediately that's been very, very popular. It's not very often that we do a big bundle of ribbons like that. I think this is so nice. When you've spent time on a project, and when you have put lots of love and lots of care and lots of attention, or if you're making a gift for somebody and you want them to know this is something that's handmade with them in mind, I think this is lovely to stitch onto all of your projects. Just $3.99. All year round, you're going to use this. Even if you just put a little bit, just as a little quilt label even. Just $3.99 with 1 postage and packaging all day long. It's a lovely personal touch. Again, how long is this, Hannah? 4 meters. 4 meters. So a lot of ribbon that you're going to be using for a long, long time. Always popular. It's just $3.99 today. Back in stock. Back in stock. This actually sold out, and it's now just become back in stock. So if you loved this before, yeah, it's fab, isn't it? Well, do you know my sewing bag that I showed you this morning? It had one of those in it. And it does just say, I do love my sewing bag. I showed everybody. They're making me feel like I've been bragging all morning. They're saying, we've been hearing about your projects all morning. Whenever anybody mentions something, I said, oh, let me just go to my sewing bag. It's like Mary Poppins bag. Here's one I've made over the last couple of weeks. I'm getting really into it. Everyone said to me on the Sew Quarter fan page, you will be addicted. You do realise this is really addictive. And I can honestly say I am. Every show that I'm with a guest, I'm thinking, I'm going to have a go at that. I can do that. And that's what's brilliant, isn't it? It is great. Okay. Easter letters. This has just been added last night, in fact. You do get the template, which you can actually make any word that you want. But we think This looks great for Easter with these particular fabrics. But you can make whatever you want, so I'll show you the instructions first. Don't get me started. Hannah's saying you can do Mr. and Mrs. I'm getting married next year, so this is what started me off thinking, oh, I can make so much and save so much money and make things for my wedding. So yes, Hannah's saying I can make Mr. and Mrs. So here you are. You have all of your instructions. I could be like Hayley and make my centerpieces the night before. So here you have. If you trace them out, photocopy them and keep them in your folder, you've got all of the templates for people's birthdays. I've missed some letters out, but there we go. It does have all of the letters. So there you go. You have all of the letters, all of the templates, the instructions as well in this lovely keepsake book as well. That's a really nice, book to keep hold of. Get the fabrics. What were you going to say to me, Hannah? Okay, so you get the spot on in grey. So this is, well, you can use it however you want, but this is nice for the size of the letters, isn't it? So this was demoed on the 1st of March. The 1st of March, so you can watch back on the YouTube channel. This was on with Deborah Sims, and she did actually demo the Easter letters. But as I say, try it out and do whatever you want. If you've got fabric already, maybe with some of the nice spot-on ones as well, you could do somebody's name, a child's name, maybe for their room, just £24.99. So in this bundle, not only do you get all of the letters of the alphabet, you get your thread, you get ½ a metre of each of your fabrics, and you get your toy filling as well. Yeah. That would be nice. Hannah's just saying to me, do you know if you're doing a progress sort of photo album of your child, 1-year-old or grandchild or somebody you know, and you're thinking you could make 1, 2, or even like 1, 2, 3, 4, it would look nicer, or an alphabet even, just A, B, C, wouldn't it? Or I think somebody, even, you know, our spot-on fabrics that we've got, the blues and the pinks, they will look lovely with the name of a child, or my name. I'll happily have them in my room. £24.99. Yeah, if anyone wants to make me any, that's fine. I'm picky with an eye. So you've got your spot on ½ a metre. That's really nice, isn't it? Maybe you've got fabric already in your stash that you want to use, but you do get in this fantastic bundle, so you get this as well that you're thinking, right, I'll keep hold of that, and you get your gingham, £24.99. Oh, yesterday about 5 to 12, I lost all of my words. I'm hoping they are back. Yeah, that sounded like the crazy frog, didn't it? And the thread as well. But they're lovely, and they're really nice and soft, aren't they? Do you know what I would actually do? I'd Odie coat those. Okay. I found the project yesterday, and now I was looking around my house thinking, what can I Odie coat? I can Odie coat everything. I should Odie coat the walls the amount of times I get food and things. Okay, the Bunting, don't get me started on this as well. It's So Bunting, where's our book? So Bunting book. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. I've read it all a lot. It's a great read. I was very into this book. So this is another great book with Bunting. Now, I have just started out sewing, and my teacher has said to me, Bunting, you'll be able to do easily. This is a great way to start, and you'll love it. But what I love about this book, also, if you're just getting back into sewing, Hannah, my producer, she's saying that her mom has just started getting back into sewing, so she's making some bunting. But what I love about this is, yes, you have your basic bunting, but also you have some really cool, fancier bunting that you can do as well that are more advanced. So, oh, that looks lovely, doesn't it? Can you imagine that? Summer garden, afternoon teas in the garden. So yeah, you have all of your projects in your contents page. You have a bit of an introduction. You have your useful tools, basic techniques. It will talk to you about the different stitches, useful stitches that you're going to be using throughout the book, and starting off simple. So you've got this simple bunting. It's all achievable, isn't it? Like, this is something that I say I'm going to start with, but I'm probably going to dive in and just go for ones with the buttons or the Advent. That's so gorgeous. And Advent bunting at Christmas is so expensive, isn't it? Have you seen where you can do the little pockets to put candy canes or sweets and treats in? There you are, with your applique as well. That's going to look lovely. See, beach bunting down the side of your deck chairs. Fancy, fancy. See, we get a lot of feedback saying it's great for new sewers. That's really nice, isn't it? So I'll flick through a bit more. You've got the buttons. Also, what I love, hang on, let me flick through. Country bunting, heart bunting. There is so much. Look, lamps. You can accessorize all of your things in the house. Children's activities. There's also ones, actually, that you can do. Where's the musical note one? I think that's the one at the back. So, oh, I love that with the buttons. So you have a good look through anyway when you get this home. Oh, look at this. Steampunk bunting. There's something for everybody. There you go. That's for Paul, isn't it? That's for our Paul, producer Paul. Look at this wedding bunting. Oh, I know, it's calling out to me. So, £9.99. This book, £9.99, a lot of new customers buy. We also have a promotion today that if you buy this and something else, if you spend over £10 on your first order, you also get a free rotary cutter. Free rotary cutter, which is fantastic if you are new to sewing and you're starting out your bunting, you're looking at the first page and thinking, right, useful tools, I need a rotary cutter. There you go, free rotary cutter when you spend over £10 on your first purchase. Maybe, if you are starting out, you're going to need a cutting mat as well. Don't use a rotary cutter without a cutting mat. So there you go, you get the book, you get the rotary cutter, and you can get the cutting mat as well, all on our website. Fabulous. Should we do the embroidery? Or chicken? Yes? Chicken? At the front here, yeah. Okay. We've got two bundles. We've got two bundles of the chicken cushion. You'll have seen this demo. This is another one that we've seen recently. I'll find out what the date is, but you do get it bundled all together. We have the fabric to make this exact one today. So here you get this beautiful ditzy pattern. It's stunning, isn't it? Perfect for Easter. Macawa. This is Katie Jane fabric. You get the linear as well. There you go. Can you see it a bit better now? And you also get, so you get half a metre of the two, and then you get a metre of your accrue. So you get half a metre of Katie Jane, half a metre of your linear, and then you get this. This is so beautiful, isn't it? Look at those colours. Perfect for Easter, spring, summer. Lots of your makes, but also this is the exact fabric that we used in the demo with the cushion. I have the instructions. So in the instructions, actually, shall I open this up? Because you get the instructions, you get interfacing, you get thread. In fact, I think what Jennifer did was put an envelope on the back of it. I always tend to fall asleep on the sofa and get a big zip mark on the side of my face. I hate that. So it does talk you through in the instructions how to put a zip in. But there you go. It's nice and relaxing doing your embroidery, isn't it? And you tend to fall asleep on the zip on the cushions that you've made. So there you go. You have the template, you have your instructions. This was demoed with Jennifer, I believe, on the 6th of March. 6th of March. So if you watch that back, that was with John Scott as well. She added that lovely little flower. So she talks you through how to add the little flower as well. So you've got all the instructions how to make the cushion, and then Jennifer can add those top tips. With the fabric, the interfacing, everything that you get in this bundle, you can make 2 cushions. You will have enough to make 2 cushions. You will have, in fact, you will have that Katie Jane fabric. You'll have loads of that fabric left over. It depends how you use it. If you use the fabric for the main sort of body of the chick. But yeah, you will have fabric left over, and you get the thread as well. This is one of John Scott's favourite fabrics. My very, very, very first show, this is the one that he said to me, Edith Sitar is one of his favourite designers, and this is such a lovely, if you don't want such, you know, like an Easter ditzy one, this is a completely different feel. This we've called Sweet Berry Chicken. Sweet Berry Chicken Duo. And there's something very sort of a, it sounds like... Okay, so you get the Adidas Sitar, which is very sort of vintage, antique-y feel, isn't it? 1/2 metre. You also get 1/2 metre of your spray time coral red and 1 metre of latte. A metre of latte plus your thread and your interfacing as well for the back of the chick. Yeah, you know, I'm thinking, if I'm being brutally honest, what I would do is I love this fabric, and I think at $22.99 that is a really great bundle to have, but I wouldn't want to just use a tiny bit for the Adidas Sitar. I would just use a bit that I've got in my scrap box, and I would use that Adidas Sitar in my bag making, or, you know, something else. I want to show that off, because that's lovely, lovely fabric. So if you've got your instructions from this, then you can use it for any fabric that you've already got. So there we have it. You have the interfacing as well in that bundle, which you put behind the chick, but there is a huge amount of interfacing. Let's do a bit of a stock warning. Should we go over to have a look at Jo Carter's? Because Jo, are you watching at home? If you're watching, she's always watching whenever we are airing her products. But we have to do a stock warning. Whenever we bring Jo Carter's toys on, we always have to keep going across to do a stock warning. Last time that we're going to be airing these before Christmas, before Easter. Before Easter. Let's start with the gingham chick. So this is the one that we've got as well, the demo one. So you get 1/2 metre of the fabric. You're going to have plenty of gingham left over. Only going to use it for his beaks and his feet, aren't you? Cut carefully with your furry, and you might actually be able to make your fleece, and you'll be able to make 2 chicks if you cut carefully. Jo has told us. So 1/3 of the stock has gone. 1/3 of the stock has gone. You also get the eyes, the thread, the instructions as well, and you get the filling. And he's just gorgeous, perfect for Easter or for all year round. Like we said, these bunnies and the chicks, all Jo Carter's toys are just, oh, so cute, aren't they? The eyes, okay, the eyes, just so you know, aren't advised for children under 3. So just take care with those. You have enough eyes to use these again, as I say, for a few different projects. You've got 3 sets of eyes. So you embroider your eyes on. We've given you the skein as well. So if you want, for a young child, you could embroider the eyes on instead, couldn't you? So they're the options. You've also got the spray on, spray time in orange, so you can change whether you want the beak and the feet in a different fabric. 1/2 metre. And 1/2 metre of the, it's called Super Soft Fleece. Can I have a look? Because it looks big, doesn't it? It is 1/2 metre, but it's incredibly wide. Oh, it's just so soft. You're going to cuddle him all the time. Look at that. Incredibly wide. So you're getting quite a lot there in your 1/2 metre. A lot, a lot, a lot. It's lovely, lovely soft fleece. This was demoed on the 28th of February. So if you want to watch the full demonstration with Jo Carter herself, if you've not seen us before, I'm giving you all these dates and you're thinking, what am I going to do with those dates? It doesn't matter, that's in the past. If you go onto YouTube, if you type in sewing quarter, we backdate from day dot all of our sewing shows, apart from the day that Hannah swore. No, we just chopped that, and the days that maybe our director Mike forgot to press record maybe, but other than that, all of the days over the last year and a bit are all on YouTube, so you can watch back the tutorials step by step. But Joe Carter's Chick was on the, what was it again, sorry, the 28th of February. So if you type in Sew Quarter 28th of February 2017, then you can watch it. Oh, can I just say as well, if you're on YouTube, if you've not seen Jo Carter, she is great to watch. All of our experts are amazing. Jo Carter's shows are so popular because her demonstrations are brilliant, and all of the toys have all got their own little characters. I love the mermaid, the ballerina, they're just so lovely, the robot, and it's great to see what other people have made. Whenever we do a Jo Carter show, there's always so many people sending in all of their pictures, so it's worth watching that show back just to even see what everybody else's makes. Bunnies. Oh, in fact, we've got a photograph. Margaret, thank you for getting in touch with us this morning. Here's Margaret's bunnies. Oh, and the little lamb in the middle. Why are they on the grill? Don't put them on the grill. I'm sure you can find nicer places. Please, Margaret, this is not the grill. Tell us this is not the grill that you keep them on. Oh, my word. I love how you have also used your own imagination and embellishments on that, and you've got the little tie. I saw somebody else who did it with little tartan, like little tartan fabric and dungarees, and that looked really cute as well. You can do little dungarees with buttons. But they become a little bunny family. And somebody else actually did them and used the instructions to scale them different sizes. So we want to hear from you. We love, love, love to hear from you. So we're going to start with the yellow, only because this is now the most limited in the bundle. In fact, the last two collectors, the last two people to put this in their basket can get it. The last two left. ½ meter of each of your fabrics. You get your thread, you get your skein, you get your filling, and you get wadding as well. You only use the wadding in the ear, so you're going to have so much wadding left over. And if you are cutting carefully, well, actually, no, you're all right. You will get enough to make two with fabric left over, in fact. Very, very Liberty-esque. I do love that ditzy print. It's so gorgeous, the floral. This was demoed on the 1st of February with myself and Jo Carter, so you can watch the show back. In fact, it is about to sell out, I believe, so be aware, be aware, be aware. If you want the blue, though, the blue is available. And this, again, look at that lovely Liberty-esque fabric. And you could, as I say, if you are making a little bunny family, if you've already got fabric and you're thinking, right, I'm going to do a little pink, one in a little pink skirt, and then this can be a lovely little blue one. And like Margaret did with a tie or with a bow tie or buttons, please send in your pictures, because I've seen so many on the Facebook fan page that a lot of you have then, you know, adapted it and made it your own, which is great. And I know Jo Carter loves as well. You've got the instructions to make the rabbit, but then you've also got a chance to adapt it how you want to. I mean, you could even do one that does have a bit more of a floppy ear, or, I mean, we've added wadding in there to make sure they stand upright. And even the detail, look at how they're folded in to give you that gorgeous shape. Yeah, all of your instructions, your wadding, ½ meter of each of your fabric, thread, all sorts for just $19.99, and in time for Easter. We started with more in stock of the blue rabbit, so there is more blue rabbits, but there are now less than 20 of these. There are now less than 20 of those available. I just love the fact that this sits so perfectly, so you can just sit him on the shelf with his legs hanging down. Not on the grill, not on the grill, Margaret. We're quite concerned. Okay, let's go back over. We'll come back and talk about Jo Carter later. I'll let you know on the stock. Yes, they are all going to sell out. Spot on bundle. The spot-on bundle that we started with is just gorgeous, isn't it? Half of the stock has now checked out. It doesn't need to be for Easter, whether it be for spring, for Easter, for baby quilts or clothes, or just for your stash. These are fantastic to make your designer fabric go a long way. I'm so thrilled that Margaret's got back in touch with us. Explain, Margaret. Margaret in Essex, Hi, Vicky Margaret here. My toys are on the cover of my gas hob. They're not. Then one of my dogs turned the tap on while I was out, and this prevents it. This prevents it. Okay, that's good. We just thought, surely you can think about a better place to put your bunnies than on the hob, on the grill. Anyway, thank you. That makes a bit more sense. Thank you, Margaret, for clearing that up. We were all quite concerned. They were beautiful. They were beautiful, and I love that detail with the tie as well. Don't get me started. I'm busy on my embroidery, my bunting, my quilting, my patchwork. I've definitely got my eye on the Cathedral window as well. I'm going to definitely do that. Okay, so the spot on bundle. We've bundled these lovely springtime colours together, but we're thinking as well for children's, or if you're making quilts, or if you want your designer fabric to go that bit further, then this is you know, your great base, your solids, your spot-ons are so popular. I know that we receive a lot of messages that make quilts for premature babies. There's a few charities that they do that. So if that is the case, it's a great stash builder. Have these lovely colours, and you get ½ a metre of each. ½ a metre of the yellow, the pink, the lovely baby blue, the springtime green, and the beautiful lavender. You know your quality with your Makawa, 100% cotton, machine washable, and just great for every day. $24.49 for 2.5 metres. The pink Rickrack, less than 5. Ooh. In fact, can I just show you against the bundle, because this is so lovely to embellish all of your projects. And you've got 25 metres. When I saw the price of this, I honestly thought, oh, $12.99, you're probably going to get a couple of metres off this reel. You get the whole shebang. You get the whole reel for just $12.99. The pink, very, very popular, and it looks lovely with these tones as well. Perfect for Easter. Beautiful for even, you know, if you were to do that around a little girl's dress or little girl projects, they're so beautiful. Purses, bags. I know that Jennifer uses this a lot along the bag, and it's so easy to just stitch across on your sewing machine. Or bunting. Beautiful pink for just $12.99. Yeah, let's do the patterns. Now, okay. These aren't bundled together, they're separate. Okay, so which one would you like to do first? Should we do the Easter Sweets basket? Now, we've got these, especially in for Easter, with a discount as well. Let's have a look through, because they should be $8.99. These should be $8.99. They are today, especially for Easter, $4.99. So you get these lovely instructions. You use felt to make these. It has got the list of ingredients. We have got, maybe you've got some Alistair felt, or there is some other felt on the website as well, but it will just talk you through how to make all of the different bits and bobs. It's very comprehensive instructions as well. You've also got the templates at the back, and I just want to show you just a bit of a scale, because it looks on the picture quite small, but it's actually a large bunny. It is a big bunny. Look, that's yeah, size of my hand. That is my hand. You can make the bunny, you can make the duck, you can make the little egg, and you can make a lovely little basket then, can't you, to put them in. A sweet basket. So that's available for $4.99. Maybe going on a nice Easter egg hunt, or just for decoration. So there's a bunch of bunnies. Same again, this is a 9-inch high felt bunny. I really like these instructions as well. They're pretty, aren't they, with the flower borders. Look at this. So there you go, bunch of bunnies. Did you get the pellets yesterday? These would be great for the pellets, actually, or if you manage to get the nutshells, yeah, the ground nutshells. If you want to make them as little door stops, they're lovely, aren't they? Because they're actually quite large. I'll show you to scale on the template. Again, these should be $8.99, but this is a large bunny. This would be a really nice big doorstop. If you trace off of this, photocopy it, or put it in your folder, then you can use this year after year. This is something that isn't just going to be for one time. This is something that you can use and use and use, especially if you're going to use felt as well. You know it's not going to fray. Lots of benefits to using felt. If you're thinking of a children's activity, maybe you make one and they really love it, so they want to get involved and help, and felt is fantastic. So there you go. In this, you also have the basket. You can applique little flower tulips, and you have all of your comprehensive instructions. It's fantastic instructions. So there you go. That is your bunch of bunnies for $4.99. We also have, oh, puppy paws. There's something about the little doggy ones. This is going to be so popular because it's not just for Easter, but it's still counted in the discount. We're still going to discount it. You're getting the saving. It should be £8, $8.99, in fact, £9. Look at that. Oh, he's going to be a gorgeous gift for somebody. And again, choose which ribbon you're going to put round. Oh, he is lovely. So once again, it tells you everything you're going to need and the cuts that you're going to need. You've got your comprehensive instructions and you have all of your templates. Just want to give you a bit of an idea of the scale of this. So again, it could be a doorstop. He's big, isn't he? He is actually not dissimilar to the size of some of the bunnies, actually. It's big. Okay. So that's the lovely little dog. It's nice as a gift, actually. That's a nice little gift, isn't it? Just the pattern. We've got the time-worn bear and bunny. Oh, so this is, again, similar to Joe Carter's bunny, but also you've got the pattern for the bear. $4.99. Oh, these are cute, aren't they? There was a lady on the Facebook group that made a bunny very similar to that one. Another discount on this one. It should be $8.99. You're actually getting enough. Oh yeah, you're getting patterns for both the bear and the bunny. There we are. 2 in 1 for $4.99. I just want to very quickly just show you the duck one before we recap a couple of these. We haven't done the embroidery bundle. Oh, so much to look at today. I told you it was a busy, busy hour. We've got a massive day, a lot to do today. So here's the little Daisy duck. Daisy duck. So Daisy duck is 3 1/4 inches high. Sorry, once again, sorry about that. When you're just having a little look at Daisy. Daisy, Daisy. Look at his little feet, he's so cute. And he's big as well. I say he's so cute like he's a tiny little doorstop. No, he's big, 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 big. Well, actually, yeah, it would be perfect for a doorstop. Yeah. There you go. But have another quick look at Daisy. Just $4.99, discounted from $8.99, especially for Easter. But ducks are for all year round, aren't they? I had a duck sitting on the chimney, on the top of the chimney, a duck. And I know the ducks obviously can fly, but it just looks so odd, these 2 ducks sitting on the roof of a very high building. A mallard? I don't know, but it was definitely a duck. Oh no, it didn't have a green head. Oh yeah, mallard, yeah. No, I wouldn't have known what a mallard looked. You are up on your ducks, aren't you, in there, the gallery? Okay, let's quickly do the embroidery just because this is my new hobby. I was sitting at home. How could you forget? Deborah Sims, she put this onto a t-shirt actually, didn't she? So we had these hanging up on the wall earlier on and they're lovely. So what you're getting in this bundle, we've bundled together your templates. Oh, this is great. This is great. Now, yesterday I had a right nightmare. I got home and thought, I haven't got a transfer pen, and I was really set with my hoop ready to embroider. I've been talking about these pens all day and I didn't have one. So I was there, holding it up to the light, to the window, thinking, and it was starting to get dark, and I thought, oh no, I've got to do this quick. So that's fantastic. You've got your transfer pen. You've got a pack of embroidery needles, hand needles, and you have some lovely floral patterns, perfect for, well, all the different seasons. Have a look at, we've got a picture actually, we've got a photograph of them close up. So this is the winter. Look at that lovely seed, we learnt that seed stitch yesterday, didn't we? That'd be nice on a notebook cover or a t-shirt or little individual gifts, or even just to embellish something that you've done, maybe put that at the bottom. The next season, that's autumn. But you can choose what thread you use as well. You can choose what thread and, you know, it can look completely different. Summer, that's gorgeous. Maybe you got the gardening bundles yesterday. You could accessorise your bunting with this, couldn't you? You know that Jenny was doing the pennant with the squirrel embroidery. This is lovely. We did quite a lot of embroidery yesterday. Well, Jess, sorry, I did do a lot of embroidery yesterday. There we go. And then you got the spring as well, which is lovely, the daffodils. So that was with Deborah Sims on the 12th of March. So you can watch Deborah step by step. We're limited on the stock of this one, as it was very, very popular on the show. Talking about limited stock. Oh, we're not doing the garlands. We're going to go over to Jo Coulter. Very, very quickly, we're running out of time, but the chick, the last time that we're going to show this on air before Easter. So if you do want to make the chick, and he's lovely, look at it. He's beautiful. So the gingham is in your main graphic, and the spray time is there along the bottom. So this is the gingham. The spray time is this one. Do check out on any of those. Remember, you're only paying one postage and packaging all day long. The date for the demo was the 28th of February, where you can watch Jo Carter step by step. You get all of the instructions as well. We've only got one bunny bundle left in the blue. If you do want the blue, there's only one left. The yellow's sold out. If you want the blue, there's only one left. You're getting ½ metre of each of your fabric, your instructions, your thread, your wadding, and your stuffing, all available. There's only one. So this one was demoed on the 1st of February, so you can watch it back. You can make more than one bunny with that kit, so make the most of it. Right, the amazing quilt that you've seen hanging at the other side will be coming up. Lynne Goldsworthy's design is coming up with Victoria Peat on the other side of this.
Follow us on Pinterest. Search for our Sewing Quarter page and follow us to discover sewing work we create and love. We've got something amazing coming for all fans of Tilda, as we've got a TV exclusive on Tilda's brand new book, Sunshine Sewing. We have the TV exclusive until the end of April, so get your copy from us before anywhere else and pore over Tilda's latest sewing creations. The brand new book features 3 full-size quilts, as well as pillows, soft toys and fabric bowls, all made in Tilda's charming style. You'll be able to delve into 12 brand new summer projects and get inspired by her countryside themed designs. So add some sunshine into your life with Tilda's brand new book, Sunshine Sewing, available on our website now.
There are many ways you can watch Sewing Quarter. We are live every day on Freeview Channel 78 and online at sewingquarter.com from 8 AM till 12 noon. But if you've missed a show, don't worry, there are 2 easy ways to catch up. The first is through our website, www.sewingquarter.com, where we repeat that morning's shows throughout the day. On the homepage, you'll see our video stream. Click on the video to hear sound and see a list of the products that we have shown in that day's shows. The second way to catch up is on our YouTube channel. All our shows are kept on YouTube, so if you buy a product and want to see the demonstration again, you can. Go to www.youtube.com/Sewing Quarter, where you'll find all our shows listed by date. Select your preferred date, then using the description beneath the video, jump to the hour you want to watch. Then you can pause, rewind, play and skip your way to the bits that you want to watch again. Only on Sewing Quarter, Freeview Channel 78.
On Monday the 19th of March, we're joined by dressmaker Amanda Wyatt for 2 fabulous hours of fashion. At 9 AM, Amanda will make a stunning Vogue crepe tunic with matching trousers. The fitted tunic has front and back yokes in contrasting ivory and black crepe for a standout finish you'll be wanting to get your hands on. Then at 10 a.m, Amanda will be back to give us plenty of useful tips on using sewing patterns. So sit back and relax as Amanda teaches us everything we need to know. So join us at 9 a.m. on Monday the 19th of March to see Amanda and her makes. Only on Sewing Quarter, Freeview Channel 78 and Sky Channel 678.
Check this out. Do you know, this is so exciting that this is actually how you're going to get it. So this hour, it's the Farmhouse quilt. It is the Farmhouse quilt that we have seen hanging up over on the other table, and it is absolutely awesome, isn't it? That is so impressive. What I love is that it's that gorgeous traditional colour. It's a Lynne Goldsworthy design, which has been, it has been so popular. We've only ever had it on air once before, but it is one of those classic looks which we absolutely love. It's that timeless colour and timeless quilt. So this is your red vintage farmhouse quilt. Now this is going to be a big project. This is something that you're not going to be sitting in front of the telly doing in one afternoon. This is something that you are going to put a lot of love and time into. Isn't it amazing? So we saw this originally in Today's Quilter, in our sister magazine, Today's Quilter. We loved it so much that we wanted to bring it to air. So we have had this bundled especially for us today. We haven't bundled it. This has been bundled especially for us today to bring you a brand new option. So you've got the same classic colours. When we saw this, this is exactly how it's going to come to you. So we said we can't take it out the box. This has arrived like this. This is how it's going to come to you. Look at that. Oh, that fabric. You're actually getting over, in fact, you're getting 15 metres of fabric. 15 metres of fabric in this bundle. So, I know I didn't want to mess it up. The first thing that we wanted to do yesterday when we saw this was pull it out like this and have a look what's in it, but we thought, no, we've got to leave it for you because I can't put it back like this. So we do not sell these fabrics by the half metre. It's only in this bundle that you're going to be able to get them. So it's a great chance. Let me start taking some of these out though, because we've got to have a good look at them. Overall, you are getting, how much? 3.5 metres of red fat quarters. So we will have a look. Are they the ones that are at the bottom though? Okay. Oh my word, right. I can move the box across. So, here you have the red fat quarters. This is gorgeous. And as I say, this isn't fabric that we're going to be able to stock. This isn't fabric that we stock. This has been bundled especially for the Farmhouse quilt. You have got more of your cream fat quarters than you do of your red, but you will have enough to do the whole of the front of the quilt, the whole of the front of the quilt. So you've got all of these. Look at just some of these fabrics. They are beautiful. Top quality quilting fabrics. And what's great is, I mean, you would spend an absolute fortune if you were to buy all of these in the half metre. That's why we have bundled it especially for this quilt. You've got so many fabrics that complement each other absolutely. Look at that, beautifully. I mean, we've just got to have a bit of a look through some of these because they are stunning. And this is exactly, as well as I say, how it's going to come to you. All folded, all ironed already. It's lovely. That was so beautiful. And it's different to the bundle that we've. It's different to the quilt that you saw in Today's Quilter. It is different fabrics. These have been bundled especially for us. So it's the same sort of traditional look, the same sort of traditional feel, but it is actually different fabrics. So look at these. Overall, you're getting over 8 metres of fat quarters. There you go. We'll have a look, more of those in a minute because we've got so much to do. So what else do you have in the bundle? So we also have You have your border fabric, which is 1.5 meters. I think it's this one, but I'm not sure which one goes with which. Yeah, it is this one. This is your border fabric, 1.5 meters. You have your backing, which is 5 meters. I'll show you that one. There you go, your backing, 5 meters. I've got the wadding as well. The wadding is, thank you. 100% cotton wadding. So when this arrives, you will have everything you need. You get your instructions, you get your red thread, you get your cream thread, you get all of your fabrics, you get your backing, you get your wadding, you get all of those fabrics, your binding, your instructions, border, everything. Literally comes with everything. But as I say, this is something that is going to be something that takes some time. It's a big project. It's very exciting. So shall we go across and see the quilt and see Victoria? Hello, hello, hello. Hello. It is lovely to finally meet you.
We see each other on screen, have a bit of a wave, but don't actually meet.
Exactly, so it's lovely to be with you.
It's nice.
And can we check out this quilt? Now,
Lynne's
this is
amazing
big.
quilt. Yeah,
it is a big quilt, isn't it? A big project.
Yeah, it's a really big project. It's something that you can put a bit of care and attention into, but it's not overly difficult. There's some new skills. If you've not done foundation paper piecing before, there are some new skills. But that's nice about quilting, is that you can pick up some new skills, make something new.
I love the layout of the blocks, actually. It's really interesting, isn't it?
It's a really effective use of only 2 blocks to create something that looks quite different to the blocks that you start off with.
Yes, okay, so there's obviously not something that we can do in an hour, but
no, it's not something we can do in an hour.
picked a few of the techniques to show you, because actually this is new to me, the foundation paper piecing.
Yes.
It's different to English paper piecing.
Yes, English paper piecing is by hand, and foundation paper piecing is something that you do with your machine.
Okay.
And paper. The paper creates your foundation.
Right.
So the quilt itself is made up from 2 different blocks. I've got 2 of them here pre-prepared with the fabrics that we've got in the bundle that we've got for you today. You've got one block that's a star and one that's a house. The star shape is created essentially using traditional quilting technique, patchwork techniques, but Lynne's developed, or she hasn't developed, but that she's done with this pattern a half square triangle technique, so that you can create 8 half square triangles at once.
Which is brilliant, because it's going to take a lot of time to do this.
And it's also a really accurate way of making half square triangles, so it's a really nice method to try if you've not tried that. And then the other block uses primarily foundation paper piecing. Okay. So we'll look at those 2, but you use those in conjunction with each other to create the final quilt.
So shall we start with this one?
Yes, we're going to start with the square, with the star. With your instructions, you get 2 template pages, one of which is the half square triangle template, which is a square that's got a bunch of lines on it, basically. And you can probably only just see on screen, but the lines are in different colours. You've got red outside lines, which are your cutting lines. You've got some blue parallel diagonal lines, which are stitching lines, and you've got some little green squares in the middle and on the edges, and they're used for trimming. Brilliant. So the way I've used this template is that I've trimmed this down with 1/4 inch. I've taken round the outside. Okay. So I'll show you on here. So I've got my template pre-trimmed down. And then if you take, I'll just put the foundation pattern out the way. You've got 2 squares, and you repeat this process for every single star block that you create. And you've got 2 squares, which I think from memory were 7.5 inch square. So they're slightly larger than your template.
Like you said, I mean, this is something that initially looks very, very daunting, but once you know those few techniques, then it will just get easier and easier, and you just keep repeating it.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you do one block, get your confidence, and then you can move on and do the rest of the blocks. You could do them in batches, or do all the stars all in once. But if you do one, then you go, oh yeah, actually, I've got my confidence, I can do this.
Now this was on about a month ago, wasn't it? And it was very popular. It's very limited. It is very, very limited, I must warn you. I know that we've brought it back due to popular demand, but a lot of you have already got it in your baskets, and it's so limited. Sorry, I just wanted to get that in.
That's all right. No, people have got to know, because it's a considered purchase. It's not a spur-of-the-moment thing. It is a considered purchase, but it is such a fabulous project, so it is worth mentioning to people so that they don't feel like they're going to miss out. So I've got my 2 7.5 inch squares, and I'm putting those right sides together and placing the template on the top. Just going to stick a pin in a couple of places, and I'm placing it across the vertical and horizontal lines because we're going to be stitching on the blue lines. So you don't really want to be putting your pin across those because then you're only going to have to remove them as you go along.
So it is similar again if you've already done the half squares. You recognise these lines anyway of what you stitch across.
Yes, because ordinarily if you're just making 2 squares at once, you might just have, you'll have drawn a diagonal line across your square and then you're going to stitch 1/4 of an inch either side of those. But this just holds your hand through that process so that you don't have to think about it. So all I'm going to do now is I'm going to sew along the blue lines diagonally. I'm going to sew from this end down, I'm going to turn around and come back, and then I'm going to sew on the other side down and back.
Okay.
Okay. Because we're sewing through paper, what is good to do, let's turn on your machine for a start, is to just reduce your stitch length. This machine comes up as 2.2.
Okay, so why are we doing that?
I'm just going to reduce it down to maybe 1.5, and I'll see when I'm sewing with this machine. Is just to check whether that's the right length. The aim of that is so that you can easily remove your papers afterwards.
Right.
If you've left your stitch length too long, it just makes it a bit of a bind trying to get them out, and you have the risk that you're going to pull against your stitches too much.
Now, is it all right to stitch through paper on the machine?
Yeah, we're okay to stitch through the paper. The machine's totally capable of doing that. What I would suggest that once you've finished doing your foundation paper piecing projects, is that you then remove the needle and start your next project with a fresh needle, because it will blunt the needle.
Okay. Well, after 8 hours of sewing, was it 7 hours, 8 hours? You do recommend to change your needle?
Yes, yeah, you should do really. You should change them, and it does make a difference. You think it doesn't, but when you put that fresh needle in,
I've just don't want to lose our template.
I've thrown a bunch of stuff on the floor. Thank you. Just run back down the other side.
I love the fact as well that there is a bit of a guideline. When I know it sounds crazy, but when I'm even trying to do my straight stitch, it can still veer off a bit.
Yeah, the machines do like to make you think that you can't do it in a straight line, but it's a bit like driving in that you think, oh, I can't drive in a straight line, but actually if you let the machine do the work,
actually, and it's good you've got guidelines.
Normally it works. So I'm just going on the other diagonal lines.
The instructions are fabulous though, that it's all colour coordinated, so it's so easy to know exactly where you're stitching.
Yeah, stitch on the blue.
There you are. Oh yeah, the dog isn't included in the kit, is it?
No, no dogs.
Such a gorgeous little doggy.
Have you got a dog?
Yes, well I do. I claim her as my own. She's my mum's really. We've got to say happy birthday to your dad as well, haven't we?
Yeah, happy birthday, Dad. Oh, I miss you. Oh, I've not seen him in a year. He lives in Australia.
Oh, really?
Mum and Dad live in Australia. So they're actually at the end of his birthday. So I'm sure he's busy eating with some friends.
Oh, wow.
I managed to send a card, but sent it late.
Yeah,
Sorry,
so
Dad.
it might get there in a few weeks.
It'll get there eventually. Okay. Oh, I haven't trimmed that properly. So now you can remove your pins. And now that's just sewn, and you can sort of see from the other side that that's sewn in a
you can
cross.
see.
So on the other side, what we're going to do is just trim off the paper, but we're going to trim on the red lines.
Right.
But I just trimmed the paper down a little bit just so that you could see where you were placing it on your fabric. What you might like to do is use an old blade for your rotary cutting when you're trimming, because you're going through the paper, and paper generally does blunt your rotary cutter.
Oh, okay.
So, oh, that was a big bang. Set falling apart. Everyone okay?
We're all right. Yeah, I know a lot of people that have a separate one for dressmaking or a separate one. Well, you should really.
Well, I've got an old blade that I dropped on the floor once that was broken, and I just put my old blades in that for trimming things like foundation paper piecing and paper patterns.
Right.
So now there are the red diagonal lines, so we're going to trim on those as well.
This is the great thing about the sewn quarters, that you can literally go back step by step, watch it on YouTube, and if you're thinking, right, I don't remember this bit, it's a bit daunting, you can literally watch. We are going to take it slow today, step by step, of how to do these 2 blocks. And once you've got that,
Yeah,
and it's just repetition.
A lot of people are visual learners.
Yeah.
Some people like to just sew from a pattern, they're quite happy to do that. But a lot of people like to actually see it being done. It makes such a big difference. It goes in and sticks in your head a lot better if you can see it being done. And then I'm trimming it across the other red lines, and as you can see, we're just getting a nice pile of triangles. And if you just fold the paper back along that stitching line, just fold it back on itself, that will help you remove the paper. So here we go. So fold back on the stitching line and give it a press.
And then do you trim those edges off? You trim these parts?
Yeah, fold back on itself, and then stick your finger on the little seam allowance, and then you can just tear it off.
Oh, I'm scared to do it. I'm scared. I don't want to ruin it.
What we haven't done is I haven't trimmed the little ears off.
See, that's good as well, because normally when you do your squares, you would have to get the rotary cutter and trim those, and then that's when I lose my squares. I can get them a bit wonky then. It does make it so much more precise with the
the results on foundation paper piecing them are really good. So there you go. Sorry, do that one because I've trimmed those off.
Thank you. Okay. This quilt bundle, by the way, is very limited. It is very limited. We're down to less than 20.
Oh, good grief.
We are down to less than 20 of them available. As Victoria said, I know it's considered, but you do get 20 metres of fabric, 20 metres. And what you're getting is 15 metres of fabric. Everything. Your backing, your wadding, your binding, your instructions. You might have to add a bit more thread, but we'll start you off. We'll start you off with the two reels of thread.
So that's how easy it is to remove those papers. I probably could have done with a slightly shorter stitch than that, but you can see those.
Oh no, they do just pull across.
Easily.
Yeah, very easily. So which stitch did you use?
On this machine, I used a 1.5, but I think maybe for the next part, I'll use a 1. Go down to 1. So
make it a little bit easier to pull them off.
Those are your little half square triangles made. They come together quite nicely, don't they?
Yeah, oh, and they are so precise. You have them.
Yeah, and it gives you a real sense of achievement if you've done something and you go, oh, look at that.
Yeah.
That is like an actual perfect square.
And
it's really lovely.
So fast.
Yeah, so fast, all done. And there's no trimming afterwards. You know, when you're trying to get your squares.
Yeah, exactly.
So then you would press those and press those open.
Now, you don't press them, because normally do you press them towards the dark side? Yeah,
normally you press towards the darker side, but for this I've pressed everything open because I felt like it made it easier when it came to constructing the block.
Okay, it's nice and flat.
It is nice and flat. So when you've got your half square triangles, and I did some other ones prepped, so you didn't have to watch us standing at the iron. I'll just move all of that into the bin. So then the centre of the star is pieced traditionally, as you would do normally. So you've got 3 smaller rectangles and 2 larger rectangles to create that centre portion of the star. And then the rest of it is created by your half square triangles. So you join the half square triangles together in pairs.
Right. Now this is something that it's good to actually have, once you've got one done, to then
use it as a visual reference. If you're not totally confident, it's not something that you've done before, you can use that one as a visual reference rather than making 8 of them incorrectly.
Yes, exactly.
That would be really annoying. Don't make one mistake over and over again. So now the block comes together quite easily. If you've joined your 2 half square triangles, you join a set of those onto your central section, and then the outer pairs of half square triangles, you add squares onto the corners.
Now these are very achievable, simple blocks to do, really, aren't they?
Yeah, this is absolutely achievable, easy to do. So if this is foundation paper piecing is new to you, start with that. Get used to the fact that you're sewing through paper and not through fabric. Start off with that and make all your stars, and then move on to the houses.
Okay.
Nice way to start. So how are we doing for time? I think we should probably move on to the foundation paper piecing.
Should we have another quick look at the
and I'll tidy and sort
Thank you very much. We just love how this bundle arrives. Did you see at the start of the show in the box with all of the fabrics? I didn't want to touch it, but now we've got it all out to show you. So we are in our teens, that's it, less than 20 available. It's only ever been on air once before. And it is, of course, the famous Lynne Goldsworthy Farmhouse quilt. So you get oodles and oodles of fabric, and I just love these traditional colours. They're all in fat quarters. They're all in fat quarters. So you have enough here to make the front of the quilt. You then do get your backing and your binding and your wadding, everything, so you can make the whole thing. But look at all of these patterns. They are stunning. There's so many different fabrics. And this isn't fabric that we stock necessarily on the website all the time. This is what we have bundled especially for this quilt. So these are the measurements that will be enough to make that huge quilt. How big is the quilt once it's made? How many blocks are there? 1, 2, 3. It is on the, we have the instructions here, have a look. 62 by 82 inches, Victoria's saying. 62 by 82 inches. So, I mean, it's a big, big quilt. But once you've got those initial blocks, and I love how they are laid out as well, you do have such an effective pattern finish. Okay, so you have your step-by-step instructions. You have your templates. You have the template that you've just seen Victoria using all here. And you can photograph this, keep it in your folder, and yeah, and reuse it. It's lovely. But it is just such a gorgeous kit. All of this fabric. You also get your 2 threads. You might need some more thread, but we started you off with your thread. You have your border, your binding. You have how much backing? 5 meters. 5 meters of backing. And also all of your 100% cotton wadding for just $242.99. Now be aware that we do have people with these in their baskets already. We do have a lot of people with them in their baskets. You do need to check out. Also, if you did see it in the magazine, if you did see this in today's quilter, or if you haven't, if you love projects like this and you want to see more, maybe not today, maybe this project isn't for today, but you do want to see more sort of projects like this, then you can actually order our website. So it's from our sister magazine, Today's Quilter. It was in an edition, it was one of the editions quite a while ago now, wasn't it? But have a look. This is our website. So if you go into www.sewingquarter.com, you click onto our subscription, you click onto the subscriptions, and you can see there we have 3 sister magazines. There's Today's Quilter on the right hand side, which is more for your advanced quilter. So if you do love projects like this, this is filled with lots of different inspirational pieces and hints and tips and patterns as well. At the moment, we do have an offer. So if you do want 3 issues of Today's Quilter, we're doing that for just £5. Just £5, saving 72%. You won't get the one with this specific quilting because that was from an issue quite a while ago, but Lynne Goldsworthy does regularly work with the magazines. So you'll see a lot of different things quite similar to this, or, you know, you get some inspiration. So if you're just getting into quilting, then this is one where you are looking at more sort of complex designs. But if you see Victoria breaking it down, then it makes it look more simple. So there it is, available. This bundle is available today for $242.99, and it is limited, very, very limited. For such a traditional, beautiful quilt, we're down to just 12. We are down to just 12. I want to keep you updated on that. But we'll go and have a look at how to do this next block.
So this next block is primarily made with traditional foundation paper piecing, with a bit of extra patchwork on the side. So if you've never done foundation paper piecing before, your pattern normally comes on a piece of paper like this, and you've got different sections. So you're compiling the block bit by bit. So this has got sections A to D, and each section is referenced. You've got D1, D2, D3, D4, D5, and so forth. And that gives you your instructions as to which order you sew the block together, or the section together, in order to create the block. So what I've done is I've cut these out to save a bit of time.
And coloured in, that's great.
Yeah, what I've done is I've coloured it in. This is easy. One, because the pattern that it comes with is actually shaded. So you've got the two different colours. So that's easy when you're doing a monochrome block with only two different colours. But if you're doing something with lots of different colours, it's really easy to lose track, particularly when you get a little bit more advanced and the pieces are really small. Yeah. Get out your pencils and do some colouring in. What I would suggest, though, is don't use crayon. No. Because if you're going to press the block at any point, the wax is going to ruin your either your iron or your ironing board. So don't use crayons, but use pencils. Great or tips. Pens or something like that that's not going to melt or transfer. So I've marked up all of those colours, and the instructions are really great. They tell you exactly what size rectangles to cut out. So here I've got, slide across.
Do you think it's good to prepare and cut all of your pieces per block? So you do it per block?
I think that depends on what kind of sewer you are. Right. So whether you like to do each block individually or whether you would sit and do all of the section A's all in one time, because you have to do this house block, I think, 18 times. Okay. So what you might want to do is do section A 18 times. Yeah. Or you might want to do each block at a time. Totally up to you. Right, how you want to do that. But what it does suggest in the pattern that each house is made of the same print and each star is made of the same print, because it makes it more impactful. Rather than totally mixing all the colours, then I think the result won't be quite so impactful. So just stick to one print. What I love
is that they are so precise. You would not achieve that without the paper, would you?
No, you really wouldn't. And foundation paper piecing lets you create such precise pictures. I really love it. It's one of my favourite ways to do patchworking. So what I've done here is I've pre-done section D and I've pre-done section A. What you need to be aware of in foundation paper piecing is that you sew in reverse. So these pattern pieces are actually the reverse of what you'll end up with. Right. So they're the mirror image. So I've done D and I've done A. So why don't we do section B?
B, yeah, perfect.
Let's do section B. And we'll start with B1. So these are my fabrics for B. I'll just move that out of the way so I don't sew the wrong bits to the wrong places. So you've got lots of little rectangles. These are the ones for the middle, so almost like the windows. And you've got the top and the bottom, another one, the bottom and the side. So this section here is creating on the pattern this little section here. Right. So this bit here.
So once you've done one and you've got the hang of it,
it's the same process over and over. So we'll start off with B1, which is a red block. Actually, before I do foundation paper piecing, what I like to do is I like to fold on all of the lines because it just makes the process a little bit easier. So if you just fold it against all of those, and it doesn't matter if you're folding further than, does it make sense if I do it that way? You know, the line only goes up to this point, but don't worry, just press it all the way along.
We've had lots of messages of people who didn't see the quilt the first time round and are loving it today.
Yeah, it's a really fabulous quilt.
It's only been on Airwaters before, and it is, really gorgeous, isn't it?
And it's a traditional design, but actually it feels to me, because it's in the monochrome, it's in the red and white quilting, which is also very traditional, but somehow it's got a contemporary feel to it.
Yeah, it does. Those colours are lovely, aren't they? So warm, so beautiful. It's going to suit so many people's homes. It is going to suit so many people's homes. I would have to have it hanging on the wall. If I'd spent all that time and effort, I couldn't just put it on the bed, or I would have to have it literally hanging.
I live in a really drafty house, so any layers on the bed are So I've pre-folded against all of those lines. And with foundation paper piecing, you're sewing on the reverse. So I'm just going to place the very first piece you place on the paper.
Now this is a glue
facing
pen,
down.
Isn't it?
I put a dab of glue, and then we're going to place that underneath section B1. So if I fold back, and you've got section B1, I'm going to place that on top of the fabric. And I'm just making sure that there's a little bit of fabric, or at least it's going up to this 1/4 of an inch trimming line. You don't want to be too far under, because you won't be able to construct the block at a later stage. So make sure it's big enough there, and when you fold it back along that sewing line, which are the black lines, that you've got a 1/4 of an inch here. Just make sure that you've got enough.
So just to go back, sorry, the glue that you just used is the
sew line glue pen. I've just put a dab on just to hold it in place to make sure it's positioned correctly. You can use a pin, but in this very first stage, I find that too complicated, because you have to attach that to the next piece.
It's not a permanent glue then?
No, it's not a permanent glue. It'll wash out and it dries clear. So this one was bright yellow, and there's a blue one, and there's
But it doesn't matter because it will disappear anyway.
No, it dries clear, so that's fine. And it's only a little dab.
So you use that with English paper piecing as well, don't you?
Yeah, primarily with English paper piecing, but it's so useful for other things, putting in zips, and I use it in the foundation paper piecing. So it's useful tool to have. So you put your first piece right sides down, and then from there on, all the fabrics are right sides up. So it's just the first one you've got to remember, right sides down. The rest you will all do right sides up. So you place this on top. So this white piece or cream piece here is going to be piece number B2. So we're going to fold back and put the raw edges together here, just to make sure that then when you fold it back, that the B2 here is going to sit on top.
Yeah. When you get in a rhythm of it, I think it can look a bit complicated, but actually it's harder to explain than to do it.
Can I ask a favour? Could you just flick the iron on for me, please? We're going to stitch, and like I said in the previous hour, I'm just going to reduce my stitch length to 1 because I felt that wasn't quite close enough for removing the papers. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to stitch on the line of between B1 and B2. So I've reduced the stitch length, and I'm going to sew along the line. So this feels really odd because your fabric is to the left and you're sewing B1 to B2, but all your fabric's this way, so that feels really weird, but go with it. It's fine. It's okay. So we're going to stitch along, and we're going to stop when we hit the next solid line.
Okay.
And some people like to back stitch at this point, but I don't tend to do that. You don't need to. Take your, and we come out. And then if you flip it over...
So you literally do piece by piece?
Literally piece by piece.
Okay.
So then you can fold that piece over, and that creates B1 and B2. Okay, so we'll give that a quick press.
Now, is there a reason why you use these certain fat quarters? Is there a rule to using, or is it personal preference? So
in terms of which prints I've chosen?
Yeah, which prints?
No, I've just chosen 2 prints that I thought look nice together. You're going to use all of them in the quilt anyway.
Okay.
So it's always 1 cream with 1 red.
You do get so many, but
so
like they say, do use your red for the house and the parts of the star.
Yeah, that's how I've used them throughout.
Yeah, they're all beautiful patterns, aren't they?
Yeah, it's nice. I turned and said, that's how I've used them throughout. I did not make this quilt. Made it sound like I did. Right, so now you've attached B1 to B2, you now need to come on and do B3. So you flip back the pattern. If your fabric is a little bit bigger than they've suggested you cut, or you've done it slightly wonky, you use your add a quarter ruler. And anyone that's not done foundation paper piecing before, or have done and haven't used an add a quarter ruler, they're brilliant. They're absolutely brilliant. We've got them in a pack of 2, haven't we?
Yes, we have. In fact,
I put the packaging somewhere. And an add a quarter ruler is acrylic like you would have with the rest of your rulers that you buy, so you can use them with your rotary cutter. But they've got this little lip on the underside, and the little lip allows you to place that against your fabric. So you can just see there's that little lip.
No, we didn't have these the last time we did them on air. No, these are just brand new in. In fact, we haven't had them for ages. So you get a packet of 2 of these. If you've done the poof with the foundation paper piecing, the last time we did the quilt, they were not available. So they've just come in. If you've been waiting for these to come back in stock, we get them both. You do get both.
And it's useful to have the 2 different sizes because the smaller one is good for smaller pieces and the larger one's bigger for larger. But sometimes the larger one is too unwieldy to do small pieces. So it does make sense to have the both of them. And these ones are quite nice because they're a little bit deeper. I've got one that's only a little bit deep. This is nicer because you can hold on to more.
Fantastic. No wonder a lot of people have already got them in their basket. Loads of people have got them in their basket. If you've been waiting for these to come back in stock, I actually don't think we've got as many as we need. I think we've underestimated. Last time we did this quilt, we didn't have any available, and there were a lot of people asking, so they're back in stock, but a lot of people multi-buying. You got 2 in a pack. So we'll see how we use it then.
Yeah, so what you can do is you butt up that little lip up against your paper, and you can just use your rotary cutter to trim. And I find it easier if you've got a totally straight edge, because then you can add that piece directly onto the next piece.
This is what is so impressive, is it does just give you, these are all handy tools to give you that precision.
Yeah, it does make it an awful lot easier. And if you are doing foundation paper piecing with a pattern that doesn't tell you the size of the rectangles to cut, it helps reduce your wastage and just make a better result. Makes the process a lot easier. So do this exactly the same thing. We're going to stitch on that line.
Straight down.
Straight down.
Now, just to let you know, half the stock of the rulers have already started. Both of them in a pack, £24.99, and half have already been checked out. Half have already been checked out. It's because, oh, sorry.
That's all right.
That's very good following there by the cameraman. Both of these, half the stock has already been checked out. I know that we've been waiting a long time for these. If you did see this quilt previously and you've been missing these rulers, maybe you're halfway through and you're thinking, right, I want that bit of help.
And sometimes you're not sure whether, sorry, there's a piece on the floor.
Oh.
Sometimes you're not sure whether you actually need a tool, but this is one of my most valuable tools that I use all the time with foundation paper piecing. So now I've got B1, B2, B3, and now I'm going to attach B4 here, which is the next cream piece. So fold back on that line. You can see here this piece is a little bit long, so I'm just going to trim that.
There you go.
It just means that you can then butt up those raw edges to each other, and then you know that that piece is going to fit behind the next piece.
It is a project that's always popular here, always popular. The rulers are very, very popular.
Okay, I'm going to sew between B3 and B4.
I just need to warn you, I'm sorry to sound like a broken record, but they are going to sell out. They are going to sell out today. They've literally just come back into stock today. We've managed to get them on air for the first time for so long. So I just need to warn you, if you've got them in your basket, check out. I'd hate for you to miss out. Remember, you only need to pay, you only need to pay one post and packaging all day. So Hannah is warning me, warn everybody to check out. Sell out today. They will sell out today.
I'm coming back round. So at home, when I'm doing foundation paper piecing, I actually set up my sewing room slightly differently. So I can make sure that I've got a cutting mat and my iron really close by. So I'm actually just swiveling from one to the other, one to the other. And as you can see, every time I'm adding fabric, the fabric's right sides up. Every single time. So it's just that first
one that it's the other way.
That's down, and then every single other one is upwards, which makes it really simple. Okay. So yes, if you've got yourself a nice little production line, you could get yourself organised and you could do all of section B. So you could attach all the B1s to B2s and almost, not quite chain piece them because you can't quite do that because the paper's in the way, but you could just do all of them in one go.
You are best to have them all sort of laid out though, aren't you? So you know which one's next.
Be organised.
Oh, I don't know which one's next.
Yeah, be really organised because otherwise you end up with lots and lots of little rectangles.
Yeah.
You think, which one was that one for? So try and be organised. Get little post-it notes or bits of paper just to section them off and say, right, these are all for section A's, these are all for section B's. So we've now done B1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. And from here, we're then going to do section B6, which is along the bottom. So I'll fold my fabric back. And this is where you can see, if you'd sewn through these lines, you wouldn't be able to fold this fabric back, the paper back. So fold the paper back, give that a bit of a trim. And you can just see.
So well, we've still got about 20 minutes.
That just butts up nicely.
That is ever so useful, isn't it?
It's just so easy. And the lip means that it doesn't slip around, because if that was a flat ruler, you may not be able to see properly, but if you're trying to mark a quarter of an inch, and the creative grids are quite good, but it's still, you end up with all this bulk underneath the ruler that makes it uneven. Perfect. And the more complicated the block and the more seams there are, the less stable your standard ruler is going to be. So
there you go.
Looks super duper. So from here, we're going to add B6, again, right sides up, place that on the top.
So for the foundation paper piecing, then these are the ones that are perfect. The creative grids are fantastic for other projects, but
use your creative grids when you're cutting out your rectangles in the first place, and then do your add a quarter. So again, from the first solid line all the way down to the end. And if you're sewing on a line that goes into the seam allowance at the bottom, you can sew off the edge.
Okay.
So we can sew all the way across. That one. Pull roll that out and give that a press. Would you like to
Yes,
press it?
yes.
Go for it.
Oh, Mandy. Hi, girls. Victoria, thank you so
Hi.
much for your clear instructions.
Thank you.
As ever, you are so organised and easy to understand. Love
See,
this
if I'm not
quilt.
organised, it all goes horribly wrong, and we don't want to see that.
So do I just press
press away.
the seam?
Yep, press
like
against
that?
the seam. I can hear the fear.
No, can you tell?
You're looking at it going, is it all right? Yes, that's not too bad.
Not too bad.
Not too
It's
bad.
quite bad.
Okay.
So what did I do wrong?
No, you're all right. You're all right. And sometimes you can think visually you've not done it properly, but the print is just
Okay.
not straight, if that makes sense.
Thank you.
So we've got a B6. We're going to go to B7, which is at the other end. So I'm going to fold back against that line again that I folded earlier. Trim off. Same thing, place right sides together, match those raw edges. I find that so much easier to create that 1/4 of an inch first, and then you know what you're placing up against. Don't do what I did, crikey. The other day, I posted it on Instagram as well. I'm sitting there and I'm sewing and I'm going, oh, I love foundation paper piecing, it's really brilliant. And then I turned my piece over and I'd accidentally folded over on itself. And unpicking foundation paper piecing is not fun. Because you've reduced your stitch length really short, it takes an age.
Ages
an
to
absolute
unpick.
age to unpick. It's horrid.
Yeah, so just always
Absolutely
check
horrid.
that you've got it
Just
flush behind.
double check
Yeah.
that it's flat on the underside. So you can use more than one pin if needs be. Don't use your glue at this stage.
Okay.
So don't glue the fabric to the fabric to hold it. Don't do that, because then you'll end up with excess glue everywhere. And whilst it's washable, you don't really want that.
So we only need that initial dab.
Only in initial dab at the beginning.
We've got a good question from Jeanette. Do you use photocopying paper?
For me, I've used, copy paper, just cheap printer paper.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine. I don't find that a problem. Some people like to go thinner, but for me, I think as long as you've got your stitch length short.
So
I
you
think
do
you're
need
okay.
to photocopy as many houses as you need
Yes, you will need to copy those.
from the templates.
Yes. Okay.
In fact, how many
So
blocks is
there
the
are
quilt
18
made up of?
houses, and I can't remember how many squares. I keep calling them squares. I don't know how many stars there are.
4 rows of 5. No,
Each house block.
5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
You count the stars.
Is it 35? No, because that's 35 blocks, isn't it? No.
Yeah, there's 18
We'll count
houses,
them.
but I didn't count how many.
Hannah's going 1, 2. Count them in my
So we're doing B8, so we're going to now add cream along the top. How are we doing for time?
We're fine. We're fine. We've got about 15 minutes.
Okie dokes. That's fine.
We've got about 11 minutes with you.
11 minutes with me, okay. That's fine. Well, I'll keep stitching and then we'll see how far we get. Now, ordinarily, you would trim off all your threads,
Yes.
not leave them all trailing. What a mess. Naughty girl.
How many? 35. 35 blocks.
35 blocks.
No, but how many stars was it, did we say?
18. Oh, no,
18.
sorry. No. That's 18 houses. Okay. And then the last one, B9.
17. 17 stars.
There'll be so many people at home that can see the pattern, they're counting them, they're shouting it at the TV.
Yeah, I know. Or just, we've said there's 18, try and subtract that from 35.
Oh, they're doing that, yes. Would make more sense.
It's hard actually to see though. It's only when I look at it on the main camera that I can see where the blocks start and begin, because the way they've been laid out.
It's really clever because
clever.
there's some corner triangles added to each house block, and they contribute to the design to make it look like that you've got big diagonal sashing.
It does. I initially thought when I saw this originally that you do have that sashing, you have that big diagonal sashing, and it's not at all. It's in each block. It is a lot simpler than the actual final look. Once you do it like this, and then when they all come
So
together,
effective.
that's when it works.
Super effective.
See, even if you thought, okay, I'm just going to do 4 and do a cushion, or
Yeah, I think they look really nice as a cushion. So now we've got, that's the completed block, and this, or section, and this one, as you can see, is the same as the one here. So this bit here is the same as this piece here that we've made. So now at this point, you'll take this and you'll just trim off the excess fabric around the outsides.
Right.
And if you're good, you would also trim off all the threads.
All the threads.
But just trim off to that dotted line. Don't trim to the stitching line. You're just trimming off the fabric on the outsides.
So on this one, you just use your normal creative grids.
I've just
you
used
don't
a
need
normal
the seam
creative
allowance.
grid. No, no. And I find it's just easier to trim normally. Okay. So then that one's now ready. That one's B.
We've just put the creative grid, by the way, along the bottom there. If you do like that size, then we have put it along the bottom.
So that's A. Was that A? Yes, A
Yeah.
and B. C is the top of the roof, and then D, which is the one I rescued off the floor, is your little chimneys across the top.
There you go.
Okay, so just trying to figure out whether I've got time to quickly sew this one.
What do you mean this one?
No, this is the top of the roof, so this section here.
No, what did you say, sorry, Hannah? These, what are they? Are they half square triangle blocks?
No, they are corner triangles. So you create them essentially in a similar way, in that you place a square on the corner and you just stitch across the diagonal and then trim off and flip back. Okay. So shall I show you the beginning part of this one? So again, this one's going right sides down. Just going to stick a bit of glue on there. Fold back my papers. Back.
Today's stock that we allocated for the ruler, the add a quarter ruler, has now gone. We're going to try and see if there's anything else in stock, but I know what we were allocated today has all gone, so we'll see if there's anything else, but I think they have given us everything.
A whole lot.
Oh.
So
Okay.
on this one, we're going to attach, that's C4, that one's that one. So you've got two rectangles. I'm going to attach, just turn it this way. So you've got a C1 and a C2. For C2, it's this piece here. I'm going to put that on the diagonal along that line, trim that off. And then from here, you place right sides together. And when you place that on, just make sure that the fabric is sitting underneath where this piece is, this piece C2 that you folded back. So what you don't want to do is do it too far on one direction, because it's not going to cover the fabric properly. So you've just got to make sure that it sits underneath that piece that you folded back. So I know that the fabric underneath is going to sit nicely.
You're not going to lose that end tip.
No. But that feels really odd to sew that, to make sure that it's going to fit.
I've had an email from Janet.
Hi, Janet.
What's the finished size of the quilt? It's 62 inches by 82 inches.
It's a big one.
It is a big quilt. That's including the border, isn't it?
Yes, that will be finished size. So I'll give that a press.
It is something that you can just keep coming back to. I know a lot of people that have projects like this, they might have 3 or 4 different projects on the go.
Yep, little and often. So now we're doing C1, we've done C2 over here, and then we hop back over here to do C3. Fold back against that diagonal line, trim off. You can see where the trimming makes a lot more sense when you've got diagonals, because it's more confusing. This one uses the smaller rectangle. So we're going to place that on. And again, don't go too far this way. Don't join just the raw edge to the raw edge. Because if you do that, you can see here, not all of it is going to sit on the fabric.
So get it in the centre.
So get it closer to the centre. So now you can see that my C2 piece here
is all going to be covered.
Is all going to sit on top.
We've got about 5 minutes left with you.
And like I said before, if you're stitching not into another solid line, so you're going through the seam allowance, you can stitch pretty much up to the edge. Okay, fold that back. Press again. Pressing.
Yeah, it's great to actually say, right, okay, let's take it slow, let's go through each step, and because it can look quite daunting and complicated, it's nice to actually have you demonstrating and talking thoroughly through each part.
So that you understand what you're doing.
Yeah, because a lot of people have done patchwork and quilting, but may not have
tried foundation paper piecing because it looks really daunting, but it is just getting over that fear of, can I do this?
Yeah.
Can I do this? So now we're doing C4, which is a triangular piece, but it's still going on to a square. Place that on right sides together. Again, double checking that your triangle that you can see through the paper sits on top of that fabric piece.
And on the instructions, it will tell you exactly the sizes of the fabric you need to cut.
Every single rectangle has a measurement in your pattern pieces. So it says for each house, cut 2 rectangles this size, and so on and so forth.
And we are pressing.
Lots of pressing. So you get your 10,000 steps for the day, don't you?
You do.
Oh, look, have I done that? See, I've made a mistake there. Did I go far enough out? Did I go?
It'd be good to have. Do you think you've pressed it too?
I'm not sure if I've sewn it in exactly the right place. Oh no, no, I'm all right.
Sometimes with the patterns, you can look like you said, that it's
look like you haven't. So I'll press. Oh. Trim that off. I've got to be good at spatial reasoning. Mm-hmm. And then again, right sides together.
It'd be good to have one of those little mini irons for this one, wouldn't it? Just to have to the side, like you said, just to set up to the side for
and use with a small ironing board, or we've got the sleeve press. Actually, I quite often use my sleeve press for little bits of ironing.
Yeah, we do have sleeve boards on the website as well, if you wanted to add that, or the little mini irons, they're lovely.
Okay, so then that's section C done. We'll press
about 2 minutes. So
okay, so we'll just quickly show how you attach 2 different blocks together. Just trim that one.
Oh, Alexandra, good morning. Thank you for your question.
Morning.
Hi girls, love the show. Does the paper come out after the entire block has been completed? Can't wait to receive the rulers I've ordered.
Fabulous. Well, the papers for the houses, once the house is constructed, so once you've attached A to B to C to D, then I would take the papers out, because then you've got some strips on the outside to make the houses bigger, because you're only making up to the very edges of the house.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, just for this centre block.
Very centre of the block.
That's where you could take the papers out when that's been done.
So the way that you construct... Oh, a little piece of paper's fallen out. So the way that this goes together is you join A to B, and then AB as one unit, you join to the top of C, and then you join all of that to D. These 2 are quite simple to add together, but C and D, you have to be a little bit careful about how you attach those together. If you have a look on the block itself, you see here that actually what you want is you want the little chimney on this side to match the top of the roof here. And you also want the same thing here. You want this little bit of the chimney to sit at the top of this point and the top of the roof. So you need to be quite precise. So when you're doing that, if I take C and D, we're going to attach those together, right sides together. And I really wish I'd not lost my little piece of paper. So I'm just...
Does that matter?
For me, it's a little bit helpful to have it, but we'll be all right without it. So we're going to attach those. You want to attach that onto that. So we're going to place a pin through there, and I'm going to stick a pin through that join between C2 and C1.
Yeah.
And that comes out pretty much on the seam here. And then what I want to do is get the join between the cream and the red to match up with that join. So I'll take that pin out and put this pin in where that one came out. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
So that gives you a point where you definitely want those 2 to add together. And I'll use either
a clip,
sewing clips. I quite like using the sewing clips. And then we do the same thing at the top here between D3 and D4, stick a pin.
Right through that centre.
Just to see where those 2 go, and the same thing on the piece behind. So this is only important when you've got seams that you really have to match up.
Get exactly on that precise, I understand.
Because they have a tendency to move around. Add a clip in there. And that one we're just going to have to wing a little bit. You want that one with the top of the house. Okay. A few extra clips along the way. And then you just sew along that solid line.
Right.
Which is 1/4 inch. So the fact that I've not got my paper in there is not totally the end of the world, because it's just 1/4 inch that we're going to sew along. Okay.
We've literally got minutes.
Literally minutes.
Like 8 minutes, they're saying in the gallery.
8 minutes, so fast.
We could do it.
And actually what I thought might be quite nice is if we hold those blocks up against the quilt, it will show people how that comes together. You can see how clever that is.
There we go. There we go, there and there.
So those corner pieces on the houses are what help create those stripes.
Yeah, that's what's bringing in these sashes.
Yeah.
There you are.
So
Voila, voila.
So then now that you've sewn across that line, you can then press that open.
Yeah.
And then that gives you the top of your house. So you can see there that you've got a nice matching of those.
Oh yeah, that is so perfect.
In here and in here.
Thank you so much. We've got a lovely message. Okay, is it on here? Morning, ladies. Lovely the show. Thank you, Victoria. No, that was the last one, wasn't it? Oh, no.
You can say it again.
It's the same again. Thank you, Victoria, for your very clear instructions. I think that you have to have a go at FPP. No,
yep, FPP.
I think I will have to go. Oh, no, I've got Lorraine's here. This is Lorraine, isn't it? So it's the same one, but it's the same saying, thank you for your very clear instructions. I think I'll have a go at foundation paper pieces. You have... yeah, it's the same.
Demystified it.
Yeah, demystified it. I think it's the same message.
That's fine. We'll read it
different
again.
ladies.
That's
yes,
all right.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And thank you
Yeah,
so
no
much.
problem.
We'll have a quick look over at this last bundle, but you are back later, aren't you, anyway?
Don't worry.
Okay, so very, very quickly, one to everybody that has already checked out, this bundle comes with everything that you need to make the quilt. You may need to add a little bit more thread, but this has been specially bundled, especially for this farmhouse quilt. So you get the instructions, you get the wadding, you get the backing, you get the binding, you get all of the fabric, you get the thread as well. It's only the second time it's been on, and it is extremely limited, extremely limited. It's a Lynne Goldsworthy design that was featured in the magazine, and you get such a selection of gorgeous quilting fabrics. All of these, all of the different creams, all of the different red prints as well that you can choose from. So you can choose which ones you use where. You get your backing, your binding, your 100% cotton wadding, you get your threads and all of the instructions. Plus, don't forget, you can watch it all back on YouTube with Victoria's demonstration. The finished quilt is 62 inches by 82 inches. In centimetres, that's 158 centimetres by 208 centimetres. So it is a whopper. It isn't a quick weekend project. This is something that you're going to spend a lot of time and love into. So keep us updated with your progress along the way. We want to see all your pictures, and thank you so much for your input, and thank you to Victoria for the demonstration. Maybe you know somebody that would love this bundle as a gift. I think it's going to be really popular. There's only literally a very limited amount left, and it's an exclusive bundle, so do check with our customer service team. Okay, do not go anywhere, because we've got something completely different, the English paper piecing, coming up after this.
Join us on Facebook. Simply search for The Sewing Quarter and like our page for the latest news and more.
Hi, I'm Angie Atwood, and here are some of my top tips. One of my top tips is to look after your sewing machine. If you treat it well, it will treat you well in return. One thing that's really important, especially for a quilter, is to clean the bottom of the machine out, and that's what I'm just going to show you what to do now. We're going to remove the needle plate. On some machines you need to undo screws. This has a very quick release needle plate, so that's perfect. Pop the needle plate off. Don't be afraid to take out the bobbin case. You can take a photograph of it with your camera first if you can't remember how it goes back in. Take your brush that will be in your toolkit and make sure you clean in this area thoroughly, very regularly. You can see all the lint and dust that's coming out of there that will be coming from your wadding. My second top tip for looking after your machine is to regularly change the needle. A lot of people don't know that you're supposed to change the needle every 8 hours of sewing, or at least every new project. I know some of you haven't changed them for probably years. So very easy to do. I'm just going to remove the foot just to keep that out of the way, and literally the little screw at the top of the needle bar there, it should be done up very tightly, so you can just use your screwdriver, loosen that off, and the needle will drop out. Make sure it doesn't drop into the machine, and replace it. It's got a flat back. You'll be able to replace it in the same position. Just make sure when you're repositioning it, you push it up into the needle bar as far as it will go.
On Saturday the 24th of March, we get ready to welcome back Mandy Shaw to the show when she joins John for 2 hours of fun. Mandy will be showing us a range of makes that will welcome Easter, including a basket of bunnies adorned with adorable bunny characters and eggs. She'll also be showing us her beautiful spring wreath and her French sewing tidy, perfect for keeping all your tools and tidbits safe. Fans of Mandy will be delighted by her gorgeous primrose spoolie doll dressed in gingham, and will be inspired by her book Stitch into Spring. So make sure you don't miss Mandy on Saturday the 24th of March at 8 AM and 10 AM, only on Sewing Quarter, Freeview Channel 78 and Sky Channel 678. Love Patchwork and Quilting is the best-selling modern quilting magazine that shares your passion for fabric. We publish 13 times a year, featuring must-make projects, essential techniques, interviews, news and reviews from the world of modern quilting. Every issue also comes with a free gift.
Good morning. I'm sorry I was so manic then in that last hour. It all of a sudden just flew by. I don't know where the time's gone this morning. I know that we've named this English paper piecing, but it's actually, we've got so much more than just English paper piecing, because we've got brand new Tula products. Very exciting. We've also got some, embroidery sort of things. So it's more sort of, okay, English paper piecing is something you can sit and hand sew in front of the television, and there's a lot of lovely pieces that we've got and projects that we've got this hour that we think would suit that. So thank you so much for all of your lovely emails and messages as well. Victoria will be back in an hour, so stay with us. But I'm so pleased this is back, because on our birthday, these are sold separately, but this was something that we didn't even really talk about on the birthday. This was with John and Tula Pink. Tula was here on the 7th of February, so you can watch back the show. And this was barely even referenced, and it's sold out. So it's just come back in stock. It's the first time back on air, and we want to show you these. So what is so fabulous about these is you've got the paper piecing and the acrylic templates for... Let's show you the picture. The Tula Nova quilt. Tula actually brought this into the studio with her on the birthday. You'll see it, if you rewatch the show on YouTube on the 7th of February, you'll see it hanging at the back of the studio, and it's just fabulous. And what we have here are the paper pieces and the templates. that you can achieve that. So let's start with the paper piecing. They work hand in hand though. They are perfect for each other. We were panicking because basically these have just come into stock. We didn't even know yesterday when we were airing the show if we were going to get to do these. We only could find the acrylic templates. So loads going in baskets already. This is not easy to get hold of, especially in the UK because of shipping. It is made by Paper Piecing. If you've worked with their products before, then you know the quality. You know the quality. If you see, well, in fact, I can just turn it round or I can open it up. You've got lots of different shapes. You've got everything that you are going to need to make. You've got so many, but do you know what? If you're careful, you're going to be able to reuse these because these aren't, they're like a mixture between paper and card. They're not flimsy. They are laser cut, so you have precision. Could you imagine trying to cut out all of these templates? So you've got all of the different shapes, all the different sizes that you need for that Tula Nova quilt. The finished size quilt is 56 inches by 56 inches. Square quilt. You get all of the paper piecing pieces that you need to create this Tula Nova design. So whether you're using Tula's colours and Tula fabrics, or whether if you want this design and you want this look, then these are the paper pieces that you can have. So you also get your instructions, and it tells you exactly what you've got. So 90 of piece A. Oh my word, there's lots in here. Okay. They are so thorough. If you've worked with paper piecing products before, then you know the quality, and they are fantastic. That's why so many of you have already got this in your basket. So it talks you through all of the different shapes that you're getting and how many of them and what they are called, piece A, piece B, piece C. So then it can talk you through literally step by step how to make, how you connect. Oh, that's a colouring diagram as well. That's great. It's interesting that they include this. So when you're not using your fabric, you can colour, so you can work out what sort of colours you want next to each other, what look you want. That's a skill in itself, isn't it? If you see Tula's here, then she's done kind of, well, a rainbow sort of effect that goes round from pinks to purples to blues to greens to oranges. If you want to do it more monochrome tones or more of a starburst, maybe coming out of the centre, or pastel shades. The great thing about this template, I would photocopy this and you can reuse it and then maybe do a couple and then decide which one you want to do. So you do have more quilt assembly instructions, and to join all of the different shapes together. Maybe you've not worked with these kind of shapes before. So you do get all of the different sort of information and top tips within the paper piecing kit. So just so you're aware, plus your instructions, by the way. Half of the stock is in baskets and been checked out. As I said, we didn't even thoroughly go through this on the birthday. The only time this has been on with Tula, and it's sold out. It was on the birthday. So here you also have all of your instructions, step-by-step instructions as well. Paper piecing kits like this are really, really difficult to get hold of. And because of the laser cutting, it means that you do get that precise, professional finish. So, have a look at the finished quilt there. So we'll have a look at the acrylic templates. I'm just going to move these to the side. I'm going to make a big mess here. I'm sorry, Hayley. Now you can buy the paper piecing acrylic or pieces on its own without the acrylic templates. But if you want the acrylic templates, then they work hand in hand with the pieces because they have the seam allowance. So I will show you. They are lovely. I love the box as well and the colour of them. They're beautiful. Now these have only ever been on with Tula on the birthday. So you have all of the different shapes. They look a lovely colour, but actually they've got this backing, which you take off when you get them home, and they all become see-through. So then you can place them over your fabric for your fussy cutting. So you can make sure you've got it exactly central with your seam allowance as well. So you know you've got that seam allowance. especially with a design like this that's quite fiddly towards the centre. It means that you're getting that precision. It means you're getting that precise seam allowance, which is going to reduce your bulk. So there you go, you've got all of the shapes that you're going to need. Just so you know, the acrylic templates, just be aware, for your fussy cutting, are very, very limited. They are more limited than the paper piecing pack. But as you can see, it has that perfect seam allowance that your paper piecing just fits with those hand in hand. So that's great if you're fussy cutting. And some of Tula's fabric as well, all of Tula's fabric, there's so much detail in there that it is great to focus on. When you look at Tula's fabric, you don't initially see the peacock straight away, or you don't see, you know, some of the details until you look, until you actually focus on it. So this is really nice to do the fussy cutting. So using these will create this final quilt, the Tula Nova quilt that you will have seen here in the studio on the 7th of February. Just so you know, there are less acrylic templates than we have paper piecing packs. In fact, there's less than 10, the single figures of the acrylic paper templates. If you do want the acrylic templates, less than 10. I know that you can use these, do you know, these paper piecing, because they are, I mean, they're not flimsy. You're going to, if you are careful, you're going to be able to reuse these. So you can reuse these for lots of different projects. And then you can just estimate your seam allowances if you don't want to go for both. But they do work hand in hand together, so we wanted to bring them. But there you go. Check out your basket, because there's a lot of you that have got them sitting there, and I don't want you to miss out again if you missed out on the birthday. So, should we go for the book? The brand new book. This is a brand new Tula book today, and it is perfect for me because I just started my embroidery yesterday. If you watched yesterday's show with Jess, then we talked a lot about embroidery, but if you just have a look, this book is beautiful. It really, really is. I love Tula's contemporary sort of feel to all of her designs and all of her fabrics. So this is something that you're going to be able to do sitting in front of the television. It's all of your hand embroideries, and there's a few motifs that we recognise in here from, so there you go, covers all your basics, all your different stitches that you might need and you will need during this book. And then throughout, it's got some beautiful, look at this. She draws each and every one of these, each and every one, and you've got that placement guide. You have all of the finish, and you've got inspiration of what threads to use. But I mean, you can do your own thing, but look at that, the owl. There's the frog in here, isn't there? There's the octopus. That's the one Hannah liked. The elephant, oh my word, that's fantastic. So if you imagine, if you're fussy cutting as well, you can just get that. This is going to sell out. It's brand new. This is another one that is brand new. The bunny. It just gives you a bit of inspiration as well on what threads and what colours to do it. Where's the frog? There! There's the frog. There's the famous Tula frog. Also, in this book, you have a CD. So on the CD, it does tell you as well what's on the CD. On the CD, you have all of the templates. You have all the templates, so then you can print them off for all these different motifs. But it's a gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous book. It's $16.99. It's brand new today. Hand embroidery and all of the different patterns that you might have seen before. I love this. If you're an avid fan of Tula, then you will know that her first quilt was a cave quilt. She actually then embroidered onto. So that's quite a nice idea as well, is combining her two loves. So you've got quilting, but also if you do want to embroider, if you create your quilt top, then you can pick one of the motifs that you like, any, like this, the horses. Look at that, that's amazing. And you could just embroider that, or just a cushion with this on. I know a lot of people are gonna want this one. How therapeutic to sit and just to, you know, hand stitch, embroider all of this on, and they are such beautiful designs. Look at that one. Just $16.99, a brand new today. I like that one, floral spray. You can keep repeating that floral design then, can't you? You can combine some of these together. Chipmunk. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Oh, and that's really nice, the double bunny. See what I mean, though? You wouldn't necessarily see the bunny straight away if that was just a huge quilt with that pattern continued or a huge fabric, but it's focusing more. So, as well, the scissors and rotary cutter. I love this sort of, almost looks like the oil, doesn't it? You know when you see petrol or oil and it's all shining in the light, it's lovely. Should we go for the rotary cutter first? They all come so beautifully packaged. All the packaging's designed by Tula as well. So when we had these on Tula's show, they all sold out. Of course they did. They all sold out. It's just so cool and so funky. Difficult to get hold of in this country. So when they come to the sewing quarter, make the most of them. This is your rotary cutter for life. If you are, we've got the dressmaking scissors for life, the fabric shears, but also this is your rotary cutter for life. But what's great about it as well, I'm left-handed. A lot of people have said to me, oh, can we get some left-handed rotary cutters? This is ambidextrous. Whether you are left or right-handed. I think Tula's mum's left-handed, so there you go. She wanted something, she didn't want to leave her out. This is a product that is tried and tested, designed by Tula. The packaging designed by Tula. She did want something, of course, that was her, it's her design. She wanted to have a lot of input into it. She didn't just want to put her name to it. She wanted to make sure this is something that she'd use and this has got her input. This is her design. This isn't just something that she's put a name to. This is something that she has designed. If you watch the show back, she does talk about the rotary cutter, but I love it because it's ever so smooth on the surface, but then you've got this lovely grip, this rubber grip, great weight to it. It is really one of those, and her name on it as well. It is one of those rotary cutters that is your rotary cutter for life, maybe as a nice gift for somebody, a really special gift. This isn't your everyday rotary cutter. Yes, you can get rotary cutters more affordably, but this is for somebody that spends a lot of time in their sewing room and loves Tula Pink. It is special. I love that sheen. Look at it. It is going to be with you throughout your sewing career. Love, career, hobby, passion, $79.99. And it comes in this lovely packaging as well. You'll look after it. This is one that you really will look after. So, the scissors. Now, I don't even think these were here when Tula was with us. Ah, ha, ha. Feel very jammy. So, again, look at the packaging. It's lovely, isn't it? So, they are fabric shears. They are 8-inch fabric shears. And once again, like the rotary cutter, these are your fabric shears for life. It is a 22 karat gold paleated screw as well. That's pretty cool in itself, isn't it? Less than £50. Opulence, extravagance. There you go. It just represents Tula, doesn't it? Fabulous. The attention to detail. Oh, just this 22 karat gold screw. Let me take it out the box. I can take them out. Oh my word, they are gorgeous. And this, again, this sheen. A lot of people have got dressmaking shears that are maybe being passed down through the generations. This is lovely that you, again, they are once in a lifetime dressmaking shears that are going to last a lifetime and passed down through generations as well. So you've got that really smooth finish. Look at the detail, look at that shine, and that's going to cut straight through, perfectly through your fabrics. Sharp, right to the point. A lot of people secured these on the birthday on the 7th of February. No, they didn't. It wasn't here on the 7th of February. A lot of people secured the rotary cutter and a lot of Tula's products, but these were scissors that were not available. You know, I say it's difficult for us to ship. It's difficult to get hold of these. It's because we couldn't even get hold of them. If you quilt a lot of products are more exclusive to America. There is a huge market for quilting in America. So you obviously have to pay a lot for your shipping, or we're not adding on any more for the payment of the shipping. It's just $2.95 all day long. We want to bring you that thing as something that's a bit more exclusive. And only because of our relationship with Tula Pink, she was here in the studio, are we able to do that. It's not something that you're going to be able to go down to your local haberdashery shop and get hold of. And they stand out, don't they? If you are at your class, your dressmaking class, or if you're, you know, they're going to look amazing. You can get them. I think a couple of places stock them, but it's not something you can just easily get hold of. So we're so proud to be able to bring those. It's so difficult they were that we weren't even able to get them for the birthday. It just shows our connections though, doesn't it, that we actually had Tula here in the studio with her family for the birthday. So it was really, really special day. We were all watching. We were all there. She brought her mum with her. John loved her mum. They were sitting in the prep room, and Hannah was saying she was literally doing her English paper piecing while she was just sitting in the prep room, waiting for a show. It's lovely. It is her passion. This isn't just her job. This is her passion. So also, now these, okay, same range. Now these are your duck bill reverse applique scissors. So this is to get to underneath all of your applique. If you are applique fans, then you know that this is a must. This is fantastic. Look at that. You've got that lovely, did you say serrated edge? Micro serrated edge on your blade. Again, look at the gold screw. That is just so extra, isn't it? It's lovely. $28.99, $28.99 for your reverse applique scissors. If you do a lot of applique, it is a little bit more niche, if I'm being completely honest, but you know, if you do applique, then you know exactly what you're looking at. Maybe you want to get the whole of the Tula selection. They do look lovely together, don't they? We know some of Tula's fabrics, you know, because she doesn't reprint, have become very collectible. I say she doesn't make it very easy to get hold of some of the fabric, especially when she stops reprinting it. So I've seen some people who have paid a lot more to get hold of it because they want it. So they've gone up and up. Limited edition pieces like this, the demand for Tula, is crazy, not only here in the UK, but in America as well. So $28.99 for the reverse applique duck bill scissors. Right. And again, come in a lovely pouch. Great gift. You can tell straight away, can't you, that she's had such an input in making even the packaging. So Tula. Okay. Yeah, the thread. This is awesome. I talk about packaging. This is Tula showing off, isn't it? Her skills. This is Tula bringing you something different. She's literally got her face on the packaging. $34.99. She drew this. She actually drew this. She's so talented, such a fantastic artist. $34.99. And in here you get 10 threads. She has selected the colours for this thread. She works with Aurifil, and these are all 50 weight, which of course you can use for your hand piecing, you can use in your machine. You get 200 meters on each of the spools. And I love the fact that you have that graduation in color. They're all variegated threads. So if I take one out, this is the only Aurifil packet that we offer, a variegated thread. So if you're doing a quilt, obviously, or you're doing your English paper piecing, your Nova quilt, I'm not sure whether you'll be able to see, but it does have that variegation. It changes just ever so slightly. See, there's your dark green. If, like Tula, you use lots of bright colours in your piecing, then it makes it more seamless, doesn't it? You don't have a strong notice of, oh, I've changed to pink thread now. Oh, I've changed to a light green or a light blue. It is beautiful. Attention to detail with Tula. If you do a lot of quilting, then this is going to be gorgeous in your variegated colours. So you've got the sort of rainbow, white to pink to blue. You've got the greens, you've got the more sort of creams and silvers and greys. You have, she never ever works with brown. It's so funny, she was saying in her fabric, it's never any brown, but these are all sort of great neutral tones, more muted tones. You've got your pinks, more corals, oranges, greens, the pinkies, the salmons, and that's lovely, sort of like a rose copper, isn't it? So all of those available, that's just $34.99, and it is Tula. She selected those colours herself. I do love how much input she has into everything. She is so passionate about the quilts that she makes and all of the products that she creates as well. She doesn't want to just put her name to just anything. There's a lot of time that goes into not just her fabrics, but all of her little bit of pieces. A little a stock update before we move over. The acrylic templates for the Tula Nova quilt, there's one left in stock. There is only one left in stock. I'll quickly show you. We're not even going to put the graphics in, but if you want them, they're there. I'll put them behind me in the trolley, but the paper piecing kit that goes along with it, you can use them separately. You can use them separately. So this is your paper piecing kit. This is the very famous Tula Nova quilt. All of the paper pieces to create that quilt front. And if you're careful with them, you'll be able to use them again as well. They're very robust. They're not flimsy cards. With your instructions as well. Now, this only came in on the 7th of Feb. This has only been with us since the 7th of Feb, when Tula was here on the birthday. How amazing to say that our connections are so strong with Tula that she actually came in for our birthday. Over half of the stock for the paper piecing has now been checked out. So if you want the paper piecing or the very last acrylic template, then make the most of it. Be quick, be quick. Final piece over here. This, before we've got loads, but just Tula. It's a bit of it is a showcase of, it's supposed to be English paper piecing, but I know that we said we really, really want this one. It's gone. It's gone. It's already sold out. I'm so sorry. It's just, we've just loaded it and it's already sold out last night on the web. Right, should we go over then? Tula does love our English paper piecing though, so it's great to show those Tula products, and especially as we had a couple of brand new pieces. So English paper piecing. Do you want to start with the fabrics, as we were going to show Tula? I love Tim Holtz. I'd not seen Tim Holtz until yesterday. It was the first time I saw the bag, the carry-all bag that we made, and there was a mat as well that was in. Well, all of these, there was a few different fabrics, but it's just so striking and so different. You know straight away when you see Tim Holtz fabrics. Look at this. So you get Tim Holtz, sorry. So if you see, you're getting 42 pieces. That big charm pack. Oh, look at this. So you're getting so many different, I love this one. You've got a lot of different fabrics that you can select from for your English paper piecing. So we think this would work really, really well. I'm just going to flick through some of these. But I mean, look, oh, look. Yesterday, I should have saved this, shouldn't I, for on air? Because yesterday when I was looking through, I was literally like, oh, I love this one. Hannah, have you seen this one? Have you seen this one? Have you seen this one? I should have saved it. I was, honestly, Hannah was like, yeah, it's really nice. I've seen it. I should have saved my excitement for today looking through it, because now I've seen it. See, oh, look at that. That's really nice, isn't it? Look at that print. And as I say, it's all got similar sort of feel to it that you know straight away. Oh, this is Tim Holtz. There again, you've got that musical sort of motif. Oh, I love all of them. So just flicking through again, the clocks, very, very popular. So all of this together, $49.99. That is a lot of fabric. And of course, if you're looking at this designer fabric, to buy half a metre or a metre of each of these is going to cost a fortune. That's my fave. I want to make bunting out of this. I mean, you're not going to use loads in your English paper piecing, are you? You're just going to use really small sections. So it's going to go a long way. And if you imagine, you know, we had Tula's templates. You can fussy cut some of these. Tim Holtz is great for fussy cutting as well. You know, some of the clocks that we had earlier. I'm just having another flip through. There's so much, all these butterflies, and there's so much. There's 42. This one would be good, wouldn't it? Fussy cutting that and then maybe embroidering around it. Ooh. What's this one? Oh yeah, Times Square. That's so cool, isn't it? We think this one says King's Heath, which is where Hannah lives. 4th Avenue, Coney Island, Times Square, King's Heath in Birmingham, of course. The Metropolitan. I can't say it. Like Hannah can't say it. Marilyn. What else can't you say? Vanilla. She's even saying, I can't say I can't even say it how you say it, but you can say metropolitan. I can say it. Oh, that's so cool. I love this one. Right, so $49.99 for Tim Holtz. I would sit and look at Tim Holtz the whole of the show, so we will put him away, but that's the only Tim Holtz that we can offer you for the whole of the day, the whole of the show today. Let's go for the book. We've had some lovely books today, haven't we? We've got some really, really nice books. We've had the Bunting, we've had some really, really nice books. This is relatively new, actually, relatively new. It's English quilting, on-the-go English paper piecing, and it's got so many great ideas. You know, if you're thinking just of quilts and you don't actually realise, oh, actually, there's so much more than just quilts. You've got toiletry bags. You can do wreaths. In fact, if you're just getting started at the start of the book, you're hearing me saying English paper piecing, you're saying, English paper what? Well, it's got all of your step-by-step guide of how to get started, what you're going to need. Or your glue pen, yeah, we've got one of those, we can talk about that in a minute. And it will just talk you through your essentials for English paper piecing. If you do English paper piecing already, then you have got a mixture of beginner, intermediate, more advanced, new techniques. There's something for everybody in this book. It's a very big book, isn't it? You've got mini quilts. You have all sorts. In fact, pin cushions. We have a pin cushion. This pin cushion was made with English paper piecing. It's from this book, in fact. So there's one pin cushion. It must be near to here. I had, and also, which is the other one that we made from in here? This is also from the book as well. Victoria Peat actually demoed this. It is that big block pattern. So what it is a block keeper. So when you make your blocks, you keep them safe in here. But I love this. You could even use it as you could almost make like a scrapbook or a folder, but then you just keep your blocks in there basically. But this is made from the English paper piecing. It's lovely, isn't it? So this was demoed. Do you know when this was demoed, Hannah? No, I'm not sure, but Victoria Peat made it, and the instructions are in this book, and it's a lovely book. Once again, you've got all sorts, not just quilting. See, look, similar sort of thing, actually, isn't it? This is more like a notebook. Oh, and then you can stitch other bits and bobs and pockets to it. More. There's our pin cushion. Placemats. Possibilities are endless. Possibilities are endless. And then once it, oh, there it is, there it is, there it is. There's your patchwork block keeper. But in every single one of these, it isn't just pictures. Oh, this is nice. Bunting. I'm obsessed with my bunting. We had a bunting book in the first day, and it's really, really nice, isn't it? So once again, you have step-by-step instructions on how to do all of these different kinds of English paper piecing. Your star cushion, great ways to start, isn't it? Mini quilts, we did that one. Oh, that's very Easter, very, very Easter-esque. Ah, look, I would photocopy this again, and you can colour it in like with the Tula thing that we saw earlier on, more of a template. Then you can see what colours and what sort of theme you want. It's lovely, isn't it? A really, really nice book, and it's just $14.49 today. Relatively new book. It is a relatively new book, so I think that's been popular, very popular. A lot of people have got that in their basket today. So enjoy, £14.49. Should we do the pen just because? Yeah, Sunday the 25th of March, of February. Yeah. Right, if you've never done English paper piecing before, then we had a brilliant demo on the 28th of February. If you go 25th of February, if you watch from 8 AM, who was it? Jane Alcock did an amazing demonstration, I'm being told, on English paper piecing. So if you are new to it and you want to see how to get started, definitely do it. Do you know, I've got it on my bag. Alistair made this gorgeous English paper piecing sort of rose that we did for Mother's Day. And that was really beautiful as well. I've got that still hanging on my bag. But there's so many different ideas. It isn't just quilting or it isn't just, you know, cushions. There's so many different projects and ideas, pin cushions and roses, flowers. You can do all sorts. So, right, should we do the pen? Because we just saw it in the book. One of your essentials for English paper piecing, and in fact, if you saw Victoria earlier on with the foundation paper piecing, she did use a dab of this, didn't she? But you will use it a lot more with the English paper piecing. In fact, Victoria actually mentioned, she says she uses it in zips as well. And Victoria does, and Lucy does, yeah. $5.99 for your water-soluble glue stick. So if you when you wash this, it will disappear. It comes in yellow and blue, I believe, but it doesn't matter on the colour anyway. It says blue on there, but it doesn't matter because it will disappear anyway. It's just so you can dab it, you can use it for your English paper piecing, and also you get a refill for $5.99. Just a handy glue stick pen. A lot of people traditionally hand-based, but all of our experts have said this one saves so much time, so much time. Maybe you've done a lot of English paper piecing in the past. Maybe you've hand-based it before. This is great to have a go. If you've never done the glue before, you won't look back. See if you get on with it. See if you get on with it. Everybody's different, but all of our experts have said, right, we need to get this one in because this is what we use. It's very efficient and great for time saving, which is, of course, perfect. So, the bag. We had this over the birthday, actually. We did have this over the birthday. This launched over the birthday, and it's fabulous. If you, like me, are off to workshops and classes and you want to be able, or on the train, or off on your holidays, your cruises, and you want to be able to take your makes that aren't quite finished, or you're in the middle of, or you just want to keep everything all together, it's great because, yes, it's that monochrome gorgeous design, but also it's not just a bag. Oh, no. It has so many different compartments. It has so many different pockets for all sorts. So let me just open this up properly. It's almost like, yeah, your portfolio, isn't it? It's where you can keep all of your different, these are some bits that we've got coming up in the show as well. But just so to give you an example, your hexes, you know, when you've glued them, if you have a session where you sit and glue all of your hexes, cover your hexes and glue them, and then you're thinking, I don't want to lose any, down the back of the sofa, you can just put them all nice and neatly, with your pens, you've got elastic bits here as well, to keep your tools, all nice and secure. And I love the fact that it's transparent as well, so you can see what you've got. That's the one fault. I don't know if I've told you about my sewing bag, but that's the only fault with mine is I can't see what's in it. So I'm hunting through and it's a bit of a mess. I need to have a sort through of that this afternoon. But that's going to be my job this afternoon, is to sort my sewing bag. But this is lovely, and it sits nicely. It's square, so it sits nicely, and you can carry this on your shoulder, on the train, on the go, to your workshop, to your classes. So the bag is available for $39.99, and it's lovely. It's going to go with everything as well, isn't it? With that monochrome sort of look to it. Yeah, nice big buttons on there. You could even stitch on here, couldn't you? Okay, is it something in here that we're going to do? Yeah, there's some kits in here. A little bit of this and a little bit of that. Antique garden. This one. Right, are we selling them separately? They are separate. So we've got a little bit of this and a little bit of that. We'll start with this one. I'll show you them both just so you can see which one you prefer. We're going to start with this one then. Now, this has your cards. It has the paper pieces. Your templates there, all pieces included. And again, paper piecing is a company that we all know, and if you know English paper piecing, you recognise for the quality. So it will tell you exactly what you need to make this. it would have your fabric requirements, it has your instructions, and they are all laser cut. Again, like Tula's, they're laser cut so you get precision. It must be a nightmare. Yes, if you want to make your own templates, but can you imagine sitting and cutting to the precision that you want for your quilt when you can get the pre-cuts so very easily. So in here, yeah. Oh, there's loads, right. So it's a great sampler because look at the choice. It's only small, it's a wall hanging, so it's only small, but what's great is that you are going to learn so many different skills and you're going to learn so many different shapes. So then you could say, right, actually, do you know what? I'm going to do a building blocks for my granddaughter or my grandson, tumbling blocks, or I'm going to do a flower, or I'm going to do some hearts, or you can use all of these different skills. Also, how you tackle curves as well in your English paper piecing. So it's got all of that explained in here in your instructions. But it has everything available to make this wall hanging. Now, once again, these have been laser cut and they're not paper, they're not flimsy, they are really sturdy. So you are going to be able to use these again. You will use these again if you're careful, just pin them in and you're not ripping them, then you're fine to be able to use these again. And there's loads, there is absolutely loads. You've got the circles, you've got the hexes, you've got the triangles, everything that you're going to need. What shape's this? What shape is that? Is that a trapeze? Yeah, I was thinking that. Okay. And your instructions as well. You've also got your information as well. Okay, so let's do the other one. This one is more your traditional hexes. That's, if I'm honest, when I first started, I thought English paper piecing was just hexes. Hexes all built up like exactly like this. So if you do want to start there. Thing is though, these are very small. They are more tricky. They are more fiddly. But once you've got the hang of it, you're fine. Because it's smaller, you do get that result. So if you do want to see your result a bit quicker, this is fantastic. If you want to start with this, you'll finish definitely sewing one side a lot quicker because they are just tiny. It's just the, I'll show you. They are just slightly more fiddly. By the way, paper piecing, of course you know, paper pieces is renowned for its quality. And we have reduced it today. We have reduced it. It's actually on special offer. So it's $11.89, which is fantastic. So look, here are your cut-up hexes. I couldn't cut up hexes like this, could you? To sit and cut all of these hexes this size, that's the tricky bit. I want to do the fun bit with the fabric and the sewing and the picking the colours and making it look pretty. So yeah, it just saves a lot of time to say that you're getting enough to do this lovely wall hanging or cushion cover or whatever you want to use it for. It's going to look lovely. Or placemats. In the book, there was loads of different ideas. They do make a wall hanging in the end, these instructions. There you go, just $11.89. Wendy's messaged in. Okay, she's having trouble finding the variegated thread. It's underneath the auction on the website. It's underneath the screen, watch us live on the website. It's called Aurifil. Aurifil. It's the only Aurifil thread that we have available. If you ring up, our customer service team are incredible. It hasn't got variegated in the title. That's probably where it's more difficult to find. But if you speak to our customer service team, they are brilliant. They are brilliant. It's completely free to call them, and they know everything. They are great. Do you know, sometimes I ring customer service teams and I'm thinking, you have no idea what you're on about, do you? But it's so nice. Ours are great. They're so helpful, and we get lots of lovely feedback about our customer service team. So give them a try. I'm sorry, Hayley, I'm not going to attempt to put all these back, but I'll leave them there for you. Okay. In my bag, Alice Caroline, this is the Liberty. Liberty, Liberty. Warning, Liberty. Okay. Oh, I don't know if where's the yellow? The smaller one? No. I've got those, these, and these. Is that okay? Okay. these ones, if you want to do the smaller ones first. I've only got one square. So your Liberty, they are random. They are random. They are Liberty prints, the Alice Caroline Liberty prints, and they are all gorgeous, perfect for English paper piecing because obviously you don't need much fabric. If you were to go into Liberty, I think you can only buy by the, well, you can, I think it's either half metre or a metre, but larger cuts anyway. You can't go in and buy pieces like this, so it is great to be able to say, right, I'm getting such a range of designer Liberty print. Lawn weight fabric, £9.99. I mean, that is lovely packaging, isn't it? You're getting 36 in there. It's lovely packaging as a gift itself, isn't it? An Easter gift maybe for a friend who sews. I'm not going to open it up, but honestly, you have such beautiful ditzy Liberty fabric. They're all at random, so everybody will have something different, but they are all, you know, those classic Liberty print that we all recognise and we all know. The great thing about Liberty, I think, is that it just mixes in. It always mixes in with whatever other Liberty fabric you have. So no matter which Liberty fabric, they all work well together. All of the colours always look beautiful together. They always complement each other. So that's £9.99 for the charm pack. And then we have the yellowy one. I don't have another square. I just have these. Let me check in the bag. Okay, the blue. So this is your Liberty Tana Lawn with the blues. Okay, £14.99 for how many? 20 squares. 20 squares. This is lovely. Ditzy prints. These are 5 by 5 inches. 5 by 5, so that's 13 centimetres by 13 centimetres. So these are slightly larger, obviously, but again, same beautiful Liberty quality fabric. Alice Caroline has put together, again, that lovely blue range. She works very closely with Liberty to bring you these lovely prints. And they are so pretty, aren't they? Perfect for lots of different projects, but English paper piecing especially, I think, works really, really well with Liberty fabrics. And the yellow, so spring is coming. Our first hour was all about Easter and it was very busy. So these are lovely colours again, aren't they? So yeah, we can do these. They are the larger sizes though. Again, same as the blue. They are 5 by 5. And you've got these lovely girly springtime, beautiful summery tones, pastel shades, girly prints. That ditzy sort of floral pattern for £14.99. If you made something for somebody from Liberty, they might not interested in sewing or know about fabric, but they know Liberty. They know Liberty. It's one of those you spot it straight away. It is distinct. It is famous, known across the globe, isn't it? You just know Liberty fabric, and it's renowned not only for its look but its quality. It's quality. If you make somebody something with Liberty fabric, they know the quality that they are getting. It becomes an heirloom, doesn't it? £14.99. Something you pass through generations. But I do love this sort of springtime, more pastel shades for £14.99. They're all lovely, aren't they? And nice gifts, as we say, they're lovely gifts. What else have we got in here in my magical bag? Yes, we've got the templates. I think they're here. These ones, no, they're plate. Okay, so we've got the 3 different designs, 3 different sizes, whichever shape you wish. So these are all bound together as well. They're all on a ring. Let's go for the big one. So you got your big hexie. 3 8-piece set, sizes from 1/4 of an inch to 3 inches. I'm not sure whether you can see, but you can see it's got marking points as well. Includes the marking points. So, can you see? The great thing about these is that you can mark through and then you can join those up to make your cardboard pieces if you want to make your own templates. if you want to make your own paper pieces. And then you can use these, because they're transparent, to fussy cut your fabric. Then you know you've got your 1/4 of an inch seam allowance on those as well. £13.99. It varies, it's up to you. Some people use, you know, the seam allowance for English paper piecing, but a 1/4 of an inch seam allowance is normally what people use, isn't it? Or 3/8 of an inch, but these are 1/4 of an inch, just to make you aware. £13.99, but you get 8. You get 8 sizes, and you can make your own papers with these. And use them for fussy cutting as well, because they're transparent. Let's go for the triangles. So they're your hexagons. These are your triangles. Once again, you've got 8. 8 in the set, all on that lovely ring. In fact, hang on. So yes, you've got your triangles. These are all triangles, aren't they? So what you do is you unscrew this, and then you can release them. But it's nice to keep them all together, and you can just hang that up then on the on a shelf or on a hook, and they're not going to get lost. There's be nothing worse than just scrambling through drawers or my sewing bag to try and find the one that you want. 8 in there, and the next one. This time, again, 8. 8 on the ring. And these are your diamonds. These are your diamonds. So these are, well, mini diamonds right up to your big diamonds at 3 inches. Once again, it includes those marking points so you can make your own paper pieces. For £13.99, laser cut for precision. I've not heard that word so much since I've been here. Precision, precision, precision. It's all about precision. It is important, isn't it, when you're spending so much time and love and effort on your projects. Heather Bailey Charm Pack is in my bag. Oh, I do like this bag, right? So, Heather Bailey has teamed up with Free Spirits and has put together a lovely array of colours. This is a complete mixture. This is from the True Colours range. Thank you. Blues, pinks, 42 pieces of fabric. Once again, these smaller cuts are great for your English paper piecing. Do you know, I'm saying English paper piecing a lot. This hour isn't actually dedicated to English paper piecing because you can use this for so many different projects. It's lovely. But again, I think it works really, really well with these bright colours. You know, the graphic print. Oh, it looks like an owl there, doesn't it? Works really well. I just love all these bright colours. You know, I did love a Beatles range. You know, every fabric was named after a different Beatles song. But this one is your true colours. So you are getting all of the different colours, all of your lovely blenders that, again, are going to work with so many of your solid, spot-ons and different designer fabrics as well. Just $20.99 for that one. So there you are. Right, let's go and update on Tula because we actually had a couple of newbies. Okay, confession. Hannah did something wrong. This one, yes, I had this on the desk and I was told it's sold out. We were told we couldn't do it. We can, there are two. Don't get too excited. There are not 200, there are 2. Fastest 2. Put it in the basket, we'll be able to get it. The problem with Tula is that she very rarely reprints stuff, so it's very difficult to know whether we'll be able to get hold of this charm pack again. Have a look through some of the colours, it's lovely. I don't think Hannah's saying that we probably won't be able to get, no, we won't be able to get hold of this charm pack. I can never say never, but this is the different colour of this one. There's only 2, there's only 2. The bird's lovely. What else have we got in here? It's all spirit animals. We had this fabric by the ½ metre, didn't we? We don't have it anymore. We have, what else have we got in here? This is, oh, some of the most iconic. Can you see the bunny hidden? Can you see the bug? Can you see the, I think that, is that a chipolata? Not a chipolata, that's a sausage. What am I thinking? A chinchilla. Yeah, maybe I'm thinking chinchilla, not chipala. That's called Stone Cold Critters. Sounds like something off I'm a Celebrity Get Me Out of It, doesn't it? Like a Bush Took a Trial. Some of these we did offer by the ½ metre, but not on this colourway. So we had this, but we had it, didn't we have it in the purple? We had those two colours, but the next one, we never had that. So that's the same, the Space Otter is the same as this, but we did never have it in this colour, in the lime. So there you go, here's your chance to get it. And I'm being told there's only two. There are only two. Let's just have a quick flick through some more. There's loads, there is loads. How many, there's only one left in stock. We never had that bare fabric by the ½ metre. We never ever had it in any of these colours. Oh, this is lovely. So how many pieces do you get in this? 42, and it's a big charm pack or layer cake. Okay, there is only one, so we're gonna have to take the graphics out. If you want it, it's there. I didn't think we were gonna be able to air it at all, so I'm pleased that we managed to do it. The brand new book, aired for the first time today. And one of Tula's loves, of course, is embroidery. If you did see her very first quilt, when she'd finished it, she then actually embroidered on it. So that's a lovely idea. If you finish the front of your quilt and you want to pick one of your favourite motifs to embroider on, there is some really beautiful, beautiful instructions in here, but also great ideas. Just get some inspiration. The owl, the bunnies. Where's the horses? We loved the horsey one. And the deer on the front is really nice. There's so much. And you also have, the CD-ROM. Why do I call it CD-ROM? It is CD-ROM, isn't it? CD in the back anyway, that has all the templates that you can then print off. The frog, we all know this one. The frog. The frog, the horse, the deer. I can see why John Scott finds this difficult to flick through the books. There's the horses. $16.99. John struggles to do this as well. There we go. Ocean pony. Seahorse. That's so cute, isn't it? I'm going to start calling it an ocean pony. Seahorse. So that is a brand new book. Brand new from Tula Pink, just $16.99. All of Tula's products are actually very difficult to source in the UK, so I would make the most of them while they're on air. The rotary cutter, the threads are popular as well, but speak to the team if you want any information. The dressmaking scissors. I just love the packaging as well. See, Tula has a lot of input in not only the design, but also the packaging and of course, how they work. So these are $49.99, and they are scissors for life. Yes, you can buy dressmaking scissors more affordably. These are your special scissors for $49.99. Great gift for somebody if you know someone that loves dressmaking. Or if you want to invest with that, I mean, it's even got a 22 or 24 karat gold, 22 karat gold plated screw. I mean, that's how extra Tula Pink is. It's incredible, isn't it? Just how the attention to detail. Also, the paper piecing kit, there's less than 10. There is less than 10. We've only just got this back in today. It's sold out on the birthday. You will get all of your paper. So much paper piecing. The Tula Nova quilt with all of your paper piecing. I've got 30 seconds, so I'm going to just throw paper all around and make a mess with the instructions. There are less than 10 of those. We've only just got it back in today. Only just got it back in today. So there it is after Tula's show on the birthday. Please can we leave one aside for our producer Hannah? We're not allowed to do that, but we might make an exception for our Hannah. Don't go anywhere, because Victoria Peat is back on the other side of this.
Follow us on Instagram. Search for our Sewing Quarter page and follow us to get our latest posts.
Simply Sewing is a magazine for dressmakers and home sewists who are passionate about fabrics and love to sew with stylish patterns. Each issue is packed with technical know-how, templates and easy-to-follow instructions to sew yourself quick wardrobe updates, accessories, plushy toys, gifts, bags and more. Plus, each issue comes with a free dress pattern from our expanding trend-led collection. We're proudly flying the flag for contemporary sewing with stylish patterns and beautiful photography to inspire sewists across the globe at every level.
On Sunday the 25th of March, tune in for an exciting hour of brand new gorgeous Liberty fabric with the lovely Jenny Smith. Liberty London is a haven for fabric lovers, with dressmakers and quilters from all over the country flocking to their shop to get their hands on Liberty's stylish range of eclectic bold prints. We'll be bringing you their brand new Cottage Garden range, which is the second in their new quilting weight fabric collection. So make sure you tune in when we bring you a range of over 20 Liberty fabrics to choose from, coming in beautiful shades of dusky pinks, denim blues and cool corals. These beautifully patterned fabrics are soon to become instant Liberty classics. Jenny will be showing us her favourites from the range and making you swoon over these pretty half meters you'll be itching to buy for your stash. So make sure you don't miss our Look at Liberty on Sunday the 25th of March, 8 AM, only on Sewing Quarter, Freeview Channel 78 and Sky Channel 678. On Thursday the 29th of March, make sure you don't miss a Sewing Quarter exclusive when we're joined by special guest Susie Johns. Susie will be launching her book live on air with signed books available to buy exclusively for Sewing Quarter viewers a week before it hits the shops. Her book, Fat Quarter Bags and Purses, is perfect for helping you find ways to use up leftover fabric and comes with beautifully photographed step-by-step instructions. She will be demonstrating 2 makes from her book, including her roomy shoulder bag with contrasting fabrics and a bright bold lining. This make is a must-have. Susie's also making an arts and crafts caddy, perfect for storing away those bits and pieces essential for any crafter. With handy pockets for needles, this practical carrier will even fit in books so that you're never far away from your next project. So don't miss this on Thursday the 29th of March, only on Sewing Quarter, Freeview Channel 78 and Sky Channel 678.
Follow us on Twitter for more inspiration, top tips, news, and share your own creations with us.
We are back for the final hour of the show. I don't know where today's gone, but we are back with the Cathedral cushion. It is always, always popular. And so many people think, oh, that's going to be difficult. I'm not going to be able to do that. And then as soon as you hear this demonstration that Victoria's going to give us this hour, we're all going to be having a go at it. Now, whether you decide to do a cushion or whether you do a quilt or... I mean, our instructions are fantastic because they do actually offer options for both, for the cushion or the quilt. Maybe you intend to do a cushion and then you think, do you know what, I've got the hang of this, and keep going and going and going, and end up making a super king-size quilt. Now, this is the best hour. I want your pictures. If you have ever done this before, if you are watching, then please take a moment to take a picture of your project and send it into the studio. It's your time to shine. We want to see them all, and we will show them on air. As many as we can, as many as we can. We want to show them all on air, because also there's so many people that then get very good at this and then do a lot of different projects, and it's love to see the inspiration. This is why I love the Sewing Quarter fan page so much, is because a lot of people do this and then a lot of adaptations. It's great to just get some inspiration for everybody. So please do send in your photographs. So the Tilda cushion went crazy. When we did the Cathedral cushion with Tilda fabric for the first time, oh my word, it was a new trend. It was a new craze that everybody went crazy for. So the first time we saw this demoed was the 15th of July last year, 15th of July in the summer, and it was with Jo Avery. And Jo Avery actually designed our instructions. So the instructions are brilliant. She came in and talked us through exactly how to do it and made it very simple. With the Tilda fabric, it looks just beautiful. So it says quilt, but it does have the step-by instructions for both. Every single time that we have done Cathedral windows since then, in Tilda especially, might I add, in Tilda especially, it is absolutely flown out. So as Tilda has a new lemon tree range, we thought we'd bring you a gorgeous cushion bundle. So we have got it in the charm pack. No, we had it in the charm pack, and now we've got it in fat quarters. So the charm packs, when we had them the last time, they sold out straight away. So many of you have asked for it in fat quarters, so this is just another chance. So let me throw this over to Victoria. Ooh. So then I've got more hands, thank you. Where should we start? Let's go with this side. So you're getting 1.5 meters of your solid. This is beautiful blue, isn't it? Oh, Macau, 1.5 meters of your solid, and then look at this gorgeous Tilda lemon tree collection. That's Mary Poppins, are you kidding? Mary Poppins film's coming out soon, isn't she? I'm so excited, I saw the trailer. Okay, so you've also got 5 fat quarters in here. Do you know what am I doing? I've got one open. I have actually got one open. So just so you can see, there you go. So you get a lot of fabric, don't you? I just want to show you all these colours next to each other. The ditzy patterns. You've got the thread as well. You've got that Mary Poppins. I say Mary Poppins, it's actually more like there's loads, it's like a theme, it's like a fairy tale film. Fairy tale sort of theme with chandeliers and horses, it's lovely. So you will have quite a bit left over, actually. You will have quite a bit of fabric left over. Let me unfold one so you can see the size of a fat quarter. There you go. So you have 5 fat quarters in each pack. So should we go to the next one? So we have, again, that was the last one, with the thread included as well, and your instructions. So the next one is definitely enough to make one cushion, but if you want to add more fabric, you've got enough Tilda fabric to make plenty. We'll talk to Victoria about that because she's done it. So this is your plum fat quarter. So this is the one where you're getting your more pinks and greens sort of tones. Same again, but just different colourways. There you go. And you get your, did you say pistachio? Nice, pistachio, 1.5 meters, enough for one cushion. Your fat quarter obviously will go further. That's so pretty, this one. Okay, the next one is the more sort of red tones. This looks really nice next to, is this white? Antique white. Ginger, this one.
No, the bundle's ginger. I think the Tilda bundle.
Okay, this is called ginger. Red ginger fat quarter. It's optical white. I was going to say, is that white? Ginger. This is lovely, isn't it? The oranges, the reds, the pinks, florals again. We love Tilda, we all love Tilda, the lemon tree, brand new collection. It's all personal preference of what you want. But then you have the blues. The blues I know would look really lovely with, oh, sorry, we're still on the still? $36.99. I'm getting carried away here. With the instructions and your thread. The blues. But all of them will work so lovely together, won't they? We are very limited on the blue. Very, very limited on the blue. I know that we weren't able to bundle as many, so if you do want the blue obviously comes with, again, 1.5 meters of cream, with your cream thread and your instructions to make one cushion. But then you've got your fat quarter as well, which is going to go so far. Do I need to bring my instructions across with me? Hello, hello. Right, the Cathedral cushion is always very, very popular, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a really popular cushion because it makes a real feature out of lots of different prints. And it's really lovely that we've bundled together in colourways so that you could make a blue feeling cushion or the plum and the green together, or the ginger.
Yes.
But they're nice. It's a nice way to hero those fabrics.
Now, when I saw this, I watched back the show and I could not believe how little sewing there was, actually.
There's really not that much sewing. There's a lot of pressing and preparation. That's the majority of the time that it takes, is just getting it ready to make those windows.
Yeah.
So there's lots of pressing, and then there's a bit of sewing at the end.
Which bundles are you using?
So I'm using the blue bundle with this, but today I brought with me, from the last time that I came on and demonstrated this, we used the Tilda charm packs.
Okay.
So I thought I'd bring that on just so that you can see another version and different colourways and different parts of the lemon tree print.
Oh, that was so popular. That sold out really quick.
And the lemon tree range is really lovely.
Yeah.
It's really pretty, and like you say, this one's very sort of storybook feeling to it. Lots of little prints in there, and it's great for fussy cutting. It's really lovely.
So, oh, exactly, because this would be perfect for fussy cutting as well, wouldn't it? You can really focus on which parts of the fabrics.
Very nice.
So what are we going to do today? What have we got
we're going to start off with a bit of origami with the iron. So what you do is you start off with the cushion. You have 16 blocks, effectively, that you press into the right shape in preparation for making the windows. So you cut out, I think they're 10-inch blocks, and you have a paper card template that you cut out that's 9 inches, so it's an inch smaller to create the folding template to start off with. I've just created this out of a bit of card. You could use any form of cardboard that you like, but I would go thin. So don't use any cardboard you like, use thin cardboard. You know what I said? Use thin cardboard. So something like a cheap cereal packet, that kind of thing, nothing too thick.
Not the expensive ones, because they're quite thick, aren't they?
I know, go cheap end, own brand. Use those. So you've got a template, so we're going to spend a lot of time at the iron. So if we could swap places, and I'll give you the instructions. And what we're doing is we're making these little folded sections.
You know, it reminds me of, you know, when you do those yes, no, open up there. It reminds me of that.
Just on Friday, my daughter came home from school and we were getting in the car and she's like, oh, I left my behind, and she didn't know what they were called.
No, I don't know what they're called.
I've left it behind, and I said, don't worry, we'll make another one at home.
But it's similar sort of shape, actually, isn't it?
It's exactly the same way of folding
it.
Okay. So if you've made one of those before, that's essentially what you're doing with a few extra steps along the way.
Right.
So, sorry, I've left my pin behind. Could you pass me a pin?
Just
one of the yellow-headed ones in the pin cushion's fine.
Oh.
Saves opening a box. Oh, that one's been bent. Actually, that might work because it's got a little bend in it. If you stick a pin, place your cardboard centrally over your fabric and place a pin in, through and out the other side. Just be careful not to either prick your finger or attach it to the ironing board cover. Not that anyone's ever done that before. So you start off by pressing over the seam allowances over the edge of the board, over the edge of the cardboard, all the way around the outside.
Okay.
If you prefer, and I did bring it with me but forgot to get it out my trolley, you could do a bit of a spray of best press first.
And it'll probably just help it be a bit more
crisp.
Crisp.
Yeah, that's quite nice.
This would be good to use the little iron as well, wouldn't it?
I quite like using a little iron at home.
Oh, I have got the best press, in fact. We've got the best press. This was very, very popular yesterday. We're going to put it through the graphics. So if you do want that, that's the large bottle. The large bottle is just $9.99. You can use this for so much as well.
Is that the unscented one, or is that a scented
this is
one?
This is the unscented, isn't it? Linen. Oh, no, sorry, linen fresh. Linen. In the smaller one, we do the lavender and the unscented, don't we? But just in the large one, it's just linen.
Right. Okay. So just press that over and just fold the corners over on each other. Don't worry about those too much.
Yeah, be careful of your fingers.
Yes. If you've bought some of those silicone things.
Yeah, I've seen those rubber silicone.
Yes, use those if you've got them and you're worried about doing your fingers in. Now, what I would suggest is if you're going to do this, a nice thing to do is to use the best press and not use steam, so that you're not accidentally getting steam all over your fingers. So what you can do now is you take your corners and you fold in half. And this step is just giving you a guide as to where you're going to fold later. So just make sure that your corners are nicely meeting up at the corners, and that this section in here is just flat, and you're not making it all buckledy inside. Buckledy is an official word. I'm sure it is.
It's a technical term.
Very technical term. Give that a press. And then we're going to fold it in half again, over on itself.
I bet you can do fantastic napkins then at Christmas, can't you?
I've never tried that, actually. I love it when you stay in a decent hotel and they make out of your towels, origami from your towels.
Yeah, I was on holiday a couple of weeks ago and I had elephants. I've never seen those. They always do lovely like swans and
fancy.
That was fancy.
So you folded that in half and then we're going to open it up again. Keep it so that your seam allowances that you've pressed in are on the inside or facing uppermost. And now we're going to take the points and come into this midsection here that you've created by folding in half and half again. Get these little corner points into the middle. So I like to get one corner, again here, if you can just see, that's sort of rucked up a bit. If you just poke that in to try and get that to lie flat. And then I'll bring the opposite corner over to meet in the middle. And once you've got those meeting, you can then bring in a third corner. Just hold that with your finger. And then I like to smooth down the middle and just use my fingers to try and get that into a nice sharp point. You want to try and get these as close as possible to each other.
Yeah.
I don't always manage to do it, but try and get them nice and close.
Do you know, our customers love sending in all their photos of the different cathedral windows that they've done.
It's lovely to share. I like the sewing community because people like to share what they've done.
Yeah, it's lovely, isn't it? And it gives other people inspiration of what to do, because a lot of people adapt this and do different projects using this technique.
Yeah, and I think
we will show them. Don't worry, I've got loads. We've got so many pictures already been sent in, so we'll watch some more of the demo, and then we will show as many as we can.
And I think sometimes you don't fancy a project until you've seen someone do it in a certain colourway, and then suddenly it speaks to you, and you think, actually, that's fabulous. I really want to make that.
And if I'm honest, I would look at that, and as somebody that's new to this, I would be thinking, I have no idea how you even do that. It looks quite daunting to look at it without a demo. It's nice to see. And actually, when you talk through how it is, it's relatively simple.
That's achievable. So when I first did this, I just cut out all my squares and just sat at the ironing board. And I say sat because I did it in front of the TV. I made my ironing board lower and just sat and watched something on TV.
Okay, just as you know, Victoria's ironing, just that last bit, you know what she's doing. We'll just show one of the pictures. This is from Wendy. Oh, Wendy. See, that's a really gorgeous rainbow. She said what, sorry? Love the show today. This is her cathedral window cushion. I love that rainbow. See, that's really different again, isn't it?
That's fabulous. That's nice when you've got all those precious scraps from other projects. Yeah. Can't quite bear to throw out, but don't know what to do with them. That's a really lovely way to use them.
Good idea.
Very nice.
When you've got the instructions from this bundle, then the possibilities are endless.
So what I'm doing now, so I've done all of those 4 corners. We're going to do the same again. So take your corner, bring it into the middle. Just make sure that the bit that you've pressed flat previously stays flat. So I'll just poke my finger in to make sure it stays flat and bring them into the middle.
But you fold them all in all together instead of pressing them each one?
I've brought in the 2 and then I'll bring in the 3rd one like I did before and then focus on this first corner and then the second corner. Just encourage them out, making sure that it doesn't go all folded up on the inside. Give that a press.
So how many of these do we need to make?
For the cushion you need to make 16, 4 rows of 4. Please don't ask me how many for the quilt because I've forgotten.
Just keep going, just keep going.
Just keep as many as you can. Actually for the quilt the blocks are slightly larger.
Right.
So you do more of them, but they're a larger size.
Yeah, that's what's great about these instructions is you've got both.
But it's exactly the same technique for creating each block.
Should we have a look at Sue's?
Come on, Sue, let's see.
Oh, lovely.
See, it's lovely with all the blues. And she's also add the buttons.
Good idea, good idea. Sue has said it was quite easy to do, but such an amazing effect. She then took the skills that she learned to her sewing group and she did a tutorial. They were really impressed.
That's really nice.
That's so good, isn't it?
See, again, the sewing community is great at sharing knowledge. And that's nice that you can...
I've thought that. It's such a lovely community. Everybody's so friendly and encouraging and says, go on, you can do it, do this, and shares all of their
happy to share
projects.
Knowledge.
Because also, if you share your knowledge, then people can take it and it's not necessarily copying, but then adapt it and make it your own.
Making it your own.
Yeah. a lot of our traditional skills that would have been passed down.
Yeah, they are. They absolutely are. Okay, I'm going to leave the iron on because I'm going to need it in a bit, but for the time being, we'll just pop it out the way, correct the set. So you've now got another one of these little blocks. And what you need to do for the cushion is you join them in rows of 4.
Right.
And then you join the rows together, as I have done here. So on the sample that I brought with me from last time, you can see how far I've got with that. So I've got row 1, 2, 3, and 4, and I just haven't joined that 4th row on. So this is the 4th row. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'll show you how to join 2 of the squares together. So you just flip up 2, and I've already joined these, just to let you know. You flip up 2 of these triangles. Make sure that you're making
You want to
nice
get them really in
line.
line, don't you?
Try and get them in as straight a line as possible. So pop it up and then stick in a pin, and I like to try and get the pin through all of the layers. Okay.
Now, what are the pins that you're using? I've got them
Pins
here.
I'm using are the yellow-headed, glass-headed pins.
Especially when you're using heat with this project.
Yes, although I try not to iron over them anyway, because sometimes when you've got quite a large head on a pin, and that's nice about these, you've got a large head so they're easy to grab hold of. But if you iron on top of them, you can make a little imprint into your work. Yeah. So still be careful about it. But they're nice because they're a good length. And they're not too thick.
Yeah, they are really good length. They're 40, you get 43 in here. 43, glass head, and a nice little prim box as well. Just 11.99.
43, very specific, isn't it?
Yeah.
43, no more, no less. So now we're going to sew along this fold line that we created in that final step. We're going to sew a little back stitch here. We're going to sew along the fold line and a bit back stitch at the other end. So I'm going to place it under the machine.
So it's not overlapping at all. It's literally
they're
next
just
to
butting up against each other. Switch ourselves on. There we go. And then when I sew this, I make sure that the top triangle is flat down and the underside one I like to flip up. It just makes it easier to understand where you're going to start from on this section here. Just a normal stitch length. And stick the needle in and press the foot down. When you're sewing along, make sure that on the underside here, that this second half where you folded over doesn't get caught on your feed dogs underneath here. It has a tendency to do that. So just make sure as you go along. So I'm going to start off with a little...
Are we plugged in?
We are... No, you're right, we're not plugged in. The foot pedal's not plugged in. That's helpful, isn't it? Because some machines, I forget, because some machines, it's all on the one plug.
It's good job we've got loads of photographs. Let's look at another photograph.
This one has 2 plugs.
Marion? Oh, Marion.
Oh, wow.
Okay, she's used all the small cathedral windows in the centre, but then if you look at the technique that she's used on the border, is that English? Is that also cathedral window? It does, doesn't it?
Hold on, glasses on. Might need to get closer to that to see.
Yeah.
No, I think they're packed. Oh, on the outside.
Yeah, literally on that last one.
I think she's used a similar technique to turn over the edges.
Ah,
fabulous.
That is gorgeous. That was her first time doing cathedral windows.
That's quite amazing that you can do something so amazing with your first attempt.
Oh, she's got a bit of advice as well. Little buttons between each one. If you've got any little problems, you can cover them up with little buttons. So there you go. That is good advice.
I will show you where you can do that. Oh, and I forgot to ask, I'm really sorry, we did have Tilda buttons.
Do we have Tilda buttons anymore?
We did. Hannah might be able to check. And see
we'll see. Do you have any Tilda buttons, Hannah?
Sorry, Hannah, forgot
to
mention.
Tilda buttons. They're out of stock.
Oh, sold them all.
Yeah, you did. They're all gone.
All gone. So, we've just attached, I'll put it back to where it was. We've just attached down that line here where we were before, down here. So we'll now just press that all back in place. So would you mind pressing? You can press that.
I can.
Just a little press. You can just use the tip of the iron just along that seam that we did.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
And then you do the same thing to join the blocks that I used here, this same method. So we'll place all of these together and we'll pinch each of these sections here. And just make sure that you're adding your pins in the right direction. So think about how this is going to go underneath the sewing machine, which direction you're going to sew in. So I'm going to start sewing. This one will be on the top, this row will be on the underside, and I'll be sewing from this end down to this end. So I want my pins to be...
Does it matter which way you sew?
Well, you wouldn't want the head of the pin to be at this end because it would be awkward to pull it out when you get to your presser foot.
But does it matter which way if you put it in from the side?
You know, you could start from the other way around. So no, that doesn't matter. But you could put the pins perpendicular to the seam rather than alongside. But I would suggest then that you would want to use more than one pin per triangle just to keep those parts from unravelling.
I just want to look as well what the finished cushion, finished size, step by step. Is that the quilt or the cushion? 37 inches by 37 inches square. Does that sound like that's the quilt?
Those are the quilt instructions. I don't know. Let me just.
We'll get the cushion. I'll have the cushion somewhere. It's all right. Thank you. Is that the cushion?
There's. These
Thank you,
ones.
Geraldine.
They're only a printout, but.
18-inch square, approximately 18-inch square.
Which is this size here.
There you go, Geraldine. That's for the cushion.
Okay, so same thing. Reverse back at the beginning, and make sure that your little sections aren't going to unravel, and just go along that pressed line. Just be careful when you go across those edges. You don't want to go too far to the left into the other folded sections.
This machine's got a speed. The hair, that's good, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really handy if you're not confident with where
the
you're
hair
sewing.
And the rabbit. No, the hair and the tortoise.
And if you're not confident about where that line is to sew, you could, of course, always just mark it with a fabric marking pen.
Yeah,
if you weren't sure.
Idea, actually.
The contrast on the TV screen may not show it clearly, but I can see just about well enough to see.
Should we do a couple more photos? Hello, Beth.
Hi, Beth.
Oh, lovely.
Oh,
see, that's quick and easy to do as well, isn't it?
Yeah, so you've incorporated the technique, but you've not done a whole...
So how many envelopes has she got on there?
4, because I've brought with me this sample here with the vintage pink that I've created.
I love that vintage pink. Look
so
at
I've done that with 4.
That looks so nice, doesn't it, with the vintage pink?
It's nice, isn't it?
Okay.
So you could then incorporate that into something else like she's done, and you could also add it to a bag or the centre of a cushion.
Yeah,
all sorts of options.
Okay, we can talk about that in a bit more detail because we actually do get a lot left over, don't we? And so we'll talk about how you could use that.
Yeah, Cathedral window is nice because you can use those small parts of a print and make a hero of those, but it does mean that you don't need very much to get such a massive impact from your fabrics. So yes, there's an awful lot left. So you just need to pair the fabric with some more backing fabric.
Exactly.
To make something lovely.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a bit.
Right, so I just need to press along here. Would you like to press again?
Yes. I did say at the start, am I going to have to press today so I can mentally prepare myself?
And I went, no, you don't. And now look. So, same thing, just use the tip of the iron just to run along that seam between those ones. And then the next stage is doing a little bit of hand stitching.
I just look awkward because I'm left-handed. I feel like I look awkward. No, but it's fine. It means I can still iron still.
Fabulous.
Oh, sorry, that was supposed to be just the tip, wasn't it?
Oh no, you're all right. You're all right. And what you can do is you can pin all of these in place so that they don't flop open and you accidentally do something with those. So now what we need to do is the way that the Cathedral windows work, and it's hard to sort of almost get your head around it, but the feature fabric doesn't go anywhere in the middle of the little blocks that you've created. They go in the cross section between 2 blocks. So this is where...
Now you've cut these already from your fat quarters, haven't you?
I've
the
already
blue
cut
one.
These. And there was a discussion was it last week that I was on doing this, or the week before, talking about when we use the charm packs and the size of these squares that you cut. The instructions for this give you a guide, and they say cut them to 3 inches, and when you make it you can fold over a little seam, and that's what I'll do today. I'll show that. But actually you could cut them smaller at 2.5 inches. And not fold over that little seam, so you'll see that. So that's up to you about how confident you are about creating those folds around the side of the window and whether you can hide those raw edges.
They do look lovely, look at that.
Yeah.
Perfect. So this is the fun bit of choosing where you want your fabrics positioned.
Yes, but in order to move on, what we need to do first of all is just secure these flaps.
Okay.
First of all, so we can do a bit of hand stitching. So I'm just going to stitch these flaps down here, and then I'll do this one over here so that we could put that one in place.
I think we've just got a bit of a problem with your microphone.
My microphone.
What we'll do is quickly just look at the bundles and they'll come in.
Okie dokes.
We won't miss anything. We won't miss anything. Don't worry. We'll just have a quick look just while we sort Victoria's microphone out. The lemon tree bundles have been very popular. It's Tilda. It's Tilda. So just quickly, whilst we're talking about the blue fabrics, this is the bundle that Victoria's using with this lovely fairy tale. It's so pretty. Don't worry, you're not missing out on any of the demo. We just wanted to be able to, we want you to be able to hear Victoria in a demo, and we realised you couldn't really hear her very well. So this is the one that you are looking at in the demonstration. Half the stock for this bundle has gone. You also get the instructions. You get the 5 fat quarters. You get, of course, the 1.5 meters of the fabric to make the cushion, 1 cushion, thread, and the instructions for the quilt and the cushion. You will have plenty of fabric left for the fat quarters. We've got you back. We've got you back.
I think I tucked it in too far and the little antenna wasn't working.
We didn't want to lose any of it.
So what we need to do is just use any sewing machine thread or whatever you've got. Try and choose a colour that matches your background fabric.
Right.
And that's what we've bundled together. The thread matches the background fabric, so that's fine. So I've just tied a knot in the end of my thread, and I'm going to run it through the tip of one of the triangles, and then I'm going to come back on the other side and go through the tip of that one. And then we're just going to sew it to the back of the little square that we've made.
Like you said, this is something that you can actually sit and do in front of the television.
Yes, you can do parts of it in different ways, because you've got your bit on the sewing machine, but that part is actually quite small. Up to this stage is how much you do at the machine. So I'm just sewing through the layers, and I'm going all the way through to the other side. And with the cushion, that doesn't matter so much about being extra neat on the reverse, because of course it's going to go on the inside of a cushion. But when you're doing the actual quilt, if you decide to do the quilt, just be careful about making sure that it's neat on the reverse.
Okay.
Unless you're not bothered. I've just got a couple of stitches.
That looks very neat anyway.
And if you're not so neat, that's where the buttons come into their own.
Ah, perfect.
It's that point where you'd sew the buttons on, but you would sew the buttons on at the end.
Because this bit you are going to see, you're not covering the part you're on the fabric.
No, not at the moment. Sorry. I'm trying to sew that you can all see, and then my arm gets in the wrong place. Okay, so just make sure those points are sewn down. And then we need to do the same thing again on the next point along. I'll just secure that off. Give it a snip.
How neat is that?
So with the coordinating thread, it just means that you can't quite see on the reverse what you've done.
So then you'd go along and you do that on all of them?
So we've got to do that on all of them. But for this example of attaching one of these, I just need to do another one so that the corners are down. Attach through the back. And just try and keep your points, try and keep them in the middle as much as possible.
Yeah, I love this, you know. This is something that now, looking at how you've broken it down, it is achievable.
Yes, it is achievable.
It doesn't look achievable. It is. It demystifies something that I would initially look at and be like,
oh my word.
And
until you place those little squares on the backing fabric, it doesn't make sense as to how it's going to work. And as soon as you put them on, you think, I get it, makes sense.
Yeah, I still didn't. I was looking at the cushion, I was thinking, I cannot see how it works. I'm still looking at this now. If this was the first time I was looking at it, I still don't see how it's going to come into play.
Trickery, stitching trickery.
This is why it's great. Watch back the tutorials. You can watch them all back on YouTube.
And that's what I was saying earlier, is that some people can just sew from instructions, but for me, to see something done makes a massive difference. Okay, so those are secured in place. That allows us to create our first window. And you would go along and you would sew in all of these together. But these ones you can't sew in until you've got the next row attached.
Yeah, makes sense.
Because you need to be able to lift these up to sew on the next row. So we can only do a couple.
And is this how you would do it? You would do one row at a time like this?
I think I would be tempted to do all 4.
Yeah.
Just to get that part done and then go through and do all the windows. But I would probably not pin and prepare all the windows at once, because then you end up with too many pins in the place, in the way. So we're just going to start off with, and you can spend some time, think about how you're going to do your prints, whether you're going to do them randomly or whether you want to do them in a specific
and they are
arrangements.
Aren't
it's
they?
up to you.
They are. In fact, while you're just, oh no, we're only going to do one though, aren't we?
We are, but it does take quite a bit of time.
Okay, so we can go and have a look at the bundles.
Yeah, you can go and come back.
Okay, we'll go and have a look through all of the bundles. So we just saw the blue. Just very quickly, update, we're very, very limited on that one. We are very limited. If you do want the one that Victoria is demoing right now, the blue is very limited, and that's with the cream, 1.5 metre solid Macawa. If you do want to buy any more of that, if you want to make extra cushions, it's 1.5 metres for one cushion. So if you do want to make more, then it is all on the website. You can add it to your basket on the website. This lemon tree range is beautiful, isn't it? We had the Farmhouse before and they sold out. They sold out. So we bought you the ginger lemon tree fat quarters. So you've got the reds and the oranges with the pinks. They're lovely tones, aren't they? And go really well again with that optical white. That's beautiful. I have got an open one. I keep flicking through these ones and make it very difficult for myself. With your thread as well, with the instructions for not only the quilt, but it does have the instructions in there for the cushion as well. We have the green. This is awesome, isn't it? This is a completely different look. This is a completely different look. I would love this in the summer. I can imagine this on a cushion outside in the garden with some barbecues. It is lovely. It's going to really stand out. It's completely different to the others. Again, though, just look, if I lay this out, some of these pieces, onto here, this one's super popular. Straight away, a lot of people put this one in their baskets. So then you've got your greens as well. Look, it's lovely. And we've done that matching, so you don't need to worry. You've got the matching thread, or you're thinking, right, I really like this colourway, but I'm not sure which of the Macawas go with it. So here, you've got that matching, it works really well. And you've got that matching green thread, so you're not going to see any of those stitches already included. Then, I shouldn't really have favourites, but I think this is mine. I love this. I think it's so, it just reminds me of a very elegant, sort of classy English afternoon tea party. It's so beautiful. It's where you'd find Hannah hanging out, somewhere classy, very classy. But again, we've done the hard work of teaming together, you know, the bundles with what Macawa we think would work well and matching the thread up for you. So 1.5 metres of your solid, and then this gorgeous fat quarter pack of brand new Tilda fabric. This is just so pretty. Can I just show you? The storyboard, it is just like fairy tale stories. There's Mary Poppins flying around somewhere. Here's Hannah, there's Hannah, look, at her afternoon tea, somewhere classy. It's got lovely chandeliers, little girl swinging on a swing. There's Mary Poppins and the tree. I just love it with the, what's this called? You know those bikes?
Penny farthing.
Penny farthings. It's just so cute, isn't it? I love it. So, When you're fussy cutting that, oh, there's so much. You can pick which character you want out of it to fussy cut, but it's lovely. So that bundle altogether, again, $36.99, along with your instructions and your thread. Right, are we ready for the next part? We're at a key point now, aren't we? This is where we're making our windows.
We are making our windows. So you've got your little 3-inch square just temporarily attached with a pin in the middle. Now what we're going to do is we're going to fold in these parts to make like a little crescent.
Okay.
In order to do that, just fold under the Tilda fabric, just a little seam, about 1/4 of an inch, and you can mess around with that a little bit to get that right. And then you fold over this section here in the middle, and this is where this part here was sewn on between the 2 blocks, and then this is the central section that we sewed down by hand. So just fold that over and stick a pin in the middle.
Do you fold it as far as you can so that they're the same?
Yeah, you sort of get your eye in, if you like,
Yeah.
and eventually you go, okay, that's about the right amount. Then we'll come around to this side.
Tuck it in.
Tuck it in and fold over and pin.
It's coming together.
It's coming together. And this is a project actually that you can do by hand. You don't have to take this to the sewing machine. You could actually do it by hand. And these corner pieces here, don't worry about too much. We'll rearrange that when we get to the sewing machine, and we'll tuck those in to create that point. But for the time being, we'll just pin the middle sections. Just gonna move that pin head out the way a little bit.
And like our lady said, was it Wendy? Any bits that you think, oh, I've just not quite got that, you can just put a button or...
Yep, stick a button on.
Hide it.
Okay, stick a pin through. Again, think about where you're going to be machining. So you're going to be machining from the corner across. So just make sure that your pin's in a position where it's easy to remove. Just checking that's going to be okay. Almost. And then this final side, fold that under.
How's the weather out there, by the way? Is it snowing?
No, for me, I was all right. They had a weather warning.
Weather warning, I think we're all right. Oh, John has text to inform it's snowing where he is. Oh no, that's near where I am. Oh, he's not said where he is. Snowing, it's snowing
somewhere randomly.
Yeah, where he is. We don't know where he is though.
Oh, man of mystery.
He's not at the NEC today, is he? He could be out, he could be at home. He just let Hannah know it is snowing.
Well, I drove through some snow showers, but it wasn't actually lying snow.
We're not stuck.
Thankfully. So on here, we're going to sew, I'm going to start sewing from this midpoint on one of the crescent shapes, and I'm going to sew towards this corner. So I'll stitch along a little bit of the way, and then I'm going to stop and just rearrange this corner to make sure that that sits in and that one sits in.
So this is probably the most fiddly part.
It is fiddly. And I'm going to stitch up to the part where it joins, and then I'm going to turn around and then come back along the other crescents.
Okay.
So you can do this by hand. If you're really not comfortable with sewing around those curves with the machine, you go slowly, get on your little tortoise setting, go slowly, but you can stitch it by hand.
Okay.
So that's also a lovely option. But I will stitch by machine. So I'm just going to get the needle in the right place. I'm going to pop it in, and then I'm going to take out that first pin. But I'm going to hold that pin, and I'm going to use it to help pull over this little bit here. So I'll put the presser foot down, that might help. Make sure it's on slow. And just very slowly work your way around. And something I've mentioned before is if your machine has got a needle down option, use that. And make sure that you're stopping with your needle down, because you're going to be manipulating the fabric and moving things around, and you don't want anything to shift out of place. So always do that with your needle down. It's also useful if you have a knee lifter on your machine. So quite often machines will have, and this one doesn't, but some of the other machines from Elna do, there's like a little hole on the front of your machine, and in it goes a really weird shape piece of metal that goes in, and you can use that with your knee to lift the presser foot up and down. And when you're doing fiddly sewing, they're invaluable.
I think that's with the 680, I'm being told, the knee lift.
Yes, 680 and maybe the 540 as well. I can't remember, because of course we don't use that function because we're standing.
Oh, Hannah's saying she's got a 540, she doesn't get, well, it doesn't get her. Unless they didn't give Hannah one. Sounds about right.
Aww. So I've gone round that corner. Now I'm going round to the other side. I've pivoted, the needle's down, and I've pivoted around the other side. And I'm just going to use that pin that I've got just to fold it over a little bit.
Yeah.
And then put the presser foot back down.
And then that should hold it, that bit in place.
Should just be enough to tuck it under the presser foot. And you can see I'm going nice and slow. Needle down.
And we're using the same colour thread again, aren't we?
But you could use a contrasting thread.
Depends how confident you are with how neat it's going to be.
I know. Mine's not always that straight, I must say.
Oh, Jeanette, it's snowing in Durham, is it? Oh, please stay in the warm.
I've had enough. I just want spring.
Sandra, sorry. I'll say Sandra's. Victoria, your nails are... I thought this, you know, I nearly said it and I thought, oh no, is it a key part of the demonstration? Concentrate there.
Oh, and these are non-regulation nails. I don't normally go for bright nails.
Now somebody's asked what colour it is. Do you know
it's called Tropics.
It's called Tropics.
Tropics.
It looks nice with the Tilda.
Shellac.
Tropics, there you go.
Did it in front of the TV last night.
You did it? Oh my word, that's clever. I get in such a mess in mine. It is, I sound like I'm so stupid, but it is really difficult to paint, especially my left hand.
other hand.
And then I'm like, whoa.
I know, end up slapping it on.
Literally, that is me. Oh, I'm like, oh my God, now I want to show my face. You can just imagine, that's why I don't do the shellac.
Don't do it, it never comes off.
It won't come off.
Really hard, you don't want to be removing shellac off your face.
Yeah, there's so much nail appreciation here at the Sewing Quarter.
Yeah, there was on Facebook the other day, talking about nails. Okay, I'm just going round carefully.
Just as we're carefully going round, we don't want to put too much pressure on Victoria.
Yes, I know, now I'm thinking, oh my word.
Have a look at this one. This is lovely. Bev, I love that as well. It literally just looks like it's just been opened. Another first attempt.
See, very achievable.
No, it's not. What's she saying? Is she saying it's a bit skew-whiffed?
See, we're talking about how lovely the quilting community is and the sewing community and how lovely and wonderful it is. The worst thing about it is that we don't give ourselves enough credit. Yeah. We always say, oh, and this isn't right, and this is wonky, and oh, don't look at that. We just naturally do that. Yeah. And it's such a shame because actually, you know what? We've all got some really amazing talents and can create some really beautiful, amazing things.
We love that one. Well done.
So don't do yourself a disservice.
This one was Margaret. Ooh, Margaret.
Wow.
Okay, so these are the ones that you probably use with the quilt then, the larger ones. They look good though, they still don't on the cushion. A first attempt oak cathedral window. Oh my word. Totally addicted to Sewing Quarter.
Good, good.
Me too. Me too. You're literally like part of the furniture here, aren't you, Victoria?
Like
you are like a face of Sewing Quarter. I was a bit starstruck meeting Victoria this morning.
We all just like sewing. It's lovely. It's a real privilege, actually, to be involved with Sewing Quarter. It's really fun. Back round, do the last one. Tuck that in. Normally, I must say, I work with an open-toed foot, like a walking foot, because you can see a little bit better. This has got a clear section to it, but actually I prefer an open-toed foot that you use. So a walking foot or an applique foot. Okay. Give you a bit more visibility, if you like. And then just back round to where we started.
I would like to see if anybody's used a contrasting thread as well on the windows. I think that would look really nice, but too scary for me.
So there we go. There's one little window.
Woohoo! It's come together. There you go. See, I would love if I could just do one like that. I'd stop before I'd do any more. I'd be like, no, I've done a cathedral window.
I've done one, that's enough.
That's amazing.
So effective. It's really, really effective.
And especially that you can pick, fussy cut, and pick some lovely details out some of these fabrics we've got.
Yeah, on some of these they've got, let's have a look.
Like the story one, we love that. The storybook one,
but also this one's got beautiful little hummingbirds on it. And these ones, what you've got to remember though, of course, is that you're cutting, when they're within the cushion, they're on point. So they're on the diagonal. Yes. So when you're cutting the square, make sure that you cut it so that it turns on the diagonal.
Because it is all all the same patterns, isn't it? On all of them, it's just different colourways.
In the different colourways, because they've got the complete range, but then we've bundled it down into the colourways. And this one's really nice with the two little birds. You could beautifully fussy cut the little birds with the lemons. That would look really lovely.
So how much did you have left over? When did you do this?
So I cut out a fair amount, because when I got the fat quarters, yes, this is left over.
Really? Oh my word.
So what I've done, oh, not this one. I'm going crazy.
So obviously you need 1.5 meters of the cream for your macao for your cushion.
Yes, and then I cut off a strip from these. I can't quite remember how I've done that. Oh no, I cut off the other way. Normally I cut one direction. Normally I cut off this way, but I've cut off here.
Right.
So I go just cut across the width of the fabric, across here, and then I subcut it into the squares.
So if you've already, even if you get these and you want to make some more different, we've got some lovely other colourways. You said about this
the vintage pink. Yeah, I was going through my stash, just having a look at how the prints work with different colours, and I thought, you know what, as a contrast, it works really beautifully with the vintage pink.
So we've added, just this morning when Victoria said, I think this works really well with that vintage pink. So we've added this and it does look lovely, doesn't it? Now remember, you need 1.5 meters, so that's 3 units, to make this cushion. We've matched it with the blue one there, but if you want to see this with any of the others, then let me know and I can do it before 12 o'clock. But they do look gorgeous with that one. Also, which are the other ones that we've picked? These ones.
Yeah, I quite like, was that vintage blue and with the ocean? I thought they looked lovely.
They all look lovely with all of them, but with the blues as well, they're really nice.
Completely different effect with the same Tilda Hero fabrics.
That's going to really stand out those,
it makes
roses.
the pink pop, doesn't it?
So this is your vintage blue, 0.5 meter, but you need 1.5 meters, remember, for the cushion. And then is this the marine?
Ocean.
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 Ocean blue. And again, it goes really nicely with the blues. But if you do want to see any of the other fat quarters with a different solid, then let us know. We can do that before 12 o'clock.
So yes, you've got absolutely tons of each of the prints left.
Yeah, that's
doing
what's
other
great.
Projects.
Yeah, exactly.
Really lovely. So that's what we're doing here. So we'll just then go through and you attach all the rest of your windows. What you can do, and what I haven't done on this one either, is that you can actually add in little windows, half windows as well.
Oh, to the end.
So you could just add those in on this section.
Oh yeah, that's a lovely idea
adds
as well.
in even more. Oh, can't get my hands out of the way.
Yeah, yeah,
so that
will
looks
work really well.
nice.
Yeah,
looks lovely, doesn't it?
Fantastic. Thank you all so much for all of your pictures as well.
Yeah, it's fab to see what everyone else has done. And like I say, just seeing the way that someone else has put something together, that gives you the inspiration to go, oh, you know what, I want to do that as well.
I know that we haven't been able to show them all, but thank you so much. We're going to have a good look through them. So is it then just constructing a cushion as normal? Yeah, it's
effectively constructing the cushion. It's slightly different because you don't have much of a seam allowance on these edges once that you've created these points, but all that's covered in your instructions.
Okay.
But if you wanted to attach your buttons, you would attach your buttons before you made the cushion back. And if you wanted to do any other hand stitching detail, because once you've pulled back all of your crescents, you've got this area in the middle, so you could do some hand stitching down here as well. Chances to personalise it.
Yeah, good idea. So this is why I say on this Facebook group, so many people always put the cathedral windows, because there are so many different options and so many different details.
And it looks like something that you can only do if you're an advanced,
exactly,
you know, skill level. But actually, if you take it slow, it is totally achievable. Just still going.
Yeah, keep going.
I'll just keep going. Just keep going.
It is fascinating, isn't it? And remember all of these tutorials. It's nice to, today with the farmhouse quilt and with this one, we've managed to be able to take it slow, and then, this is the end result. So this was the very first Tilda cushion, I think, and this is where it was just a game changer. As soon as we bought on Tilda fabric with it, everybody loves it. It does work so, so well. So we want to see once you've finished yours as well.
Yes, you've got to the end of the weekend.
Yes, I will. This is my
your next challenge.
Yeah, we always look, all of us, everybody looks on the Facebook fan page, so yeah, we'll keep an eye on your pictures.
Well, and if you've done your embroidery with Jess, Cathedral windows next.
Okay.
Get your ironing board out.
I will. It's just folding, a bit of origami, a bit of folding and ironing.
Oh, one of my girls
slow stitching.
did me a an origami Mother's Day card. It was very sweet.
Oh,
very
wow.
good. I thought that was quite brave of a teacher, wasn't it, to take that on at school?
Yeah.
Origami with a bunch of 8 and 9-year-olds.
That's brilliant.
Almost forgot how old she was then. 8 and 9-year-olds.
Yeah, that's the most tricky bit. But if you've got it on a slow setting,
use your slow setting, use your knee lifter if you've got one, and just use a pin or something just to try and fold it under, because your finger won't get under there, not for love nor money. Or I think Janice quite often uses. Have you met Janice yet?
no, I haven't met Janice.
She quite often works on a Saturday morning, so I've stolen her slot for today.
Oh, I know I've not met Janice yet. I'm so pleased I've met you though.
It's really nice.
Quick question, just before we have a look. Oh, it's on the iPad. Do you sew right to the corner?
I don't sew quite all the way in, but I sew to the point at which the two crescents meet. And then I just turn around and go back the other way. Actually, if you have a look on the reverse of the sample that I've brought from last time, you can sort of see where the quilting lines go. So when you're making the quilt version, it's nice because you're quilting as you go.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
And it hasn't got any wadding on the inside, but actually because you've got so many layers of fabric that have been folded,
you don't need to, yeah.
It's got a really good weight to it.
There you are. Thank you very much. Right, thank you. We're going to have to say goodbye to Victoria. Thank you so much for today.
It's nice to be here on a weekend.
It's been really nice.
Like the teacher's off sick and it's all quiet.
Yeah, and then you're going to go home and have a snow day as well. Yeah, oh no, I hope not. No snow, no snow. Thank you ever so much.
Have a nice weekend, everyone.
Yes, right, we'll see you soon. So let's just briefly recap all of these bundles, because they are all gorgeous and they all worked so well. The blue bundle that Victoria has been working with, just to warn you, there are more people with them in their baskets than we have available. So if you have got it in your basket, check out. It's the fastest people to check out. The next one is your ginger. This looks lovely, lovely. And you get the white thread, remember, to match perfectly. I'm just going to lay these round so you can see the different patterns. They're lovely. And as Victoria was saying, they're all the same pattern, it's just different colourways. In fact, so where's my Mary Poppins one? No, I think they're different. I think they're slightly different. We'll just look at each of them and then you can see what you're getting. So the blue one, yes, you have the ones that we had earlier on. So here, you're getting 5 fat quarters, the oranges, but this would be lovely to fussy cut. There's so many different options with this, and it comes with the optical white, 1.5 meters. Ginger, lemon tree ginger cathedral cushion, there it is. It says quilt on the instructions, but it does also have your cushion instructions, which is great. You've got both, so once you've done your cushion, you've got a chance to make both with your white thread as well. So, completely different. This is the most unique. The others, you know, you can actually, you can blend in with other things, but this is actually one of the most popular. It is one of the most popular, and it is the most striking, that green. If you are struggling to think, right, I really like this Tilda range, this package, this colourway, but I don't know which Macao to go for, we've done it for you. You get the green thread. And once again, you do get this storyboard print in pink, I'm going to do, because remember, you're only going to use a very small amount of your Tilda fabric, so you're going to have plenty left over for other projects. This one's going to look lovely. Final one, my favourite. This is so beautiful, isn't it? The blue, I think it's this blue. What is the blue called? Baby blue. It's just a baby blue. It's lovely, isn't it? Really nice baby blue. And the are they hummingbirds? Hannah knows her ducks and her birds very well. There we go. But this one is so pretty. All of the different storyboards and the flowers. Again, you've got these little doves, are they? I'm awful with birds and ducks, but I definitely had ducks sitting on the roof. Hummingbird, this ditzy floral print, and your blue matching. Now, we are the only shopping channel offering this book until the end of April. And it is lovely. It's a gorgeous Tilda book to go with Tilda's brand new range, Sunshine Sewing, and it's filled with inspiration. It is available. Are we bringing the, yeah, 9.99? I just wondered whether we were going to. Oh, look at this. There's so much. We've got to go, but it's there available at $9.99. So tomorrow, coming up, Sunday, let's see, coming up with John Scott is back. You've got Baby Girl Romper, you've got your Quilt Cake collection, you've got Janice Boys Shorts at 10 a.m. and 11 a.m. Fabulous new fabrics all coming up. So do join John tomorrow. Once again, thank you for a brilliant 2 days. I've had a lovely, lovely couple of days with you. I'm back next Monday. So thank you all so much. Thank you again to Victoria. And well done. Thank you for all of your pictures. So from all of us, yeah, if you got the Farmhouse quilt, there's only a couple left, only a few left. So make the most of that. But I will see you next Monday from all of us here at the Sewing Quarter family. Goodbye.
We've got something amazing coming for all fans of Tilda, as we've got a TV exclusive on Tilda's brand new book, Sunshine Sewing. We have the TV exclusive until the end of April, so get your copy from us before anywhere else and pore over Tilda's latest sewing creations. The brand new book features 3 full-size quilts as well as pillows, soft toys and fabric bowls, all made in Tilda's charming style. You'll be able to delve into 12 brand new summer projects and get inspired by her countryside themed designs. So add some sunshine into your life with Tilda's brand new book, Sunshine Sewing, available on our website now.